Welcome to Conscious Reconstruction. And I'm going to work on the intro instrumental for this. The
I feel like
podcast
that's
and the show.
needed.
Me too.
That would be nice.
So, as you can hear, the whole gang is here. Gang in the building. Ash and Logical High, a.k.a. Jones.
Hey.
All right.
There's the creepy hey from Ash. I know we all needed that. And, yeah, we're ready. Jones has chimeras.
You know, I forget every time that I'm first. I be all laid out and shit.
How do you forget every time?
We do this for a solid year straight. You need to get it together over there.
Yeah, we have
Because every time we start, I be like this.
Yeah.
My phone in my hand.
That's not the position that you should start off with. I always toss it to you after the intro.
I know.
Maybe it's because I do the intro.
Well, maybe.
Maybe you can switch it up. How was y'all weeks?
Yeah, how was y'all week?
I'll talk about it. It was a week.
Okay. I guess I'll talk about my weekend. How was your weekend?
Yeah, it was a weekend. Nothing
Yeah.
spectacular, you know. I did our usual weekend I do. Do my usual weekend things.
Yeah. Christmas shopping.
Christian
And
shopping?
Christmas shopping and things that I can't remember.
Okay.
My daughter's still alive, so that's always nice.
I would hope so.
Yeah, she didn't get hurt. I know that much.
I'm mad that that's like
That's the thing.
a
like,
possibility that
everything.
it's not going to be okay.
Well, like, I feel like if she didn't die and I didn't die, I made
It was a
through.
success.
Yeah, nobody got hurt.
Okay. Well, on that scale, then I'm here. I made it. I was great. A great weekend. Week was pretty cool. Didn't do nothing. Didn't go to class. Got an email from one of my teachers.
You got a what?
Email.
Oh, what'd he say?
If you don't turn in Project 3, you're going to fail the class.
Damn.
I turned in Project 3. I forgot. So, it was done. I just didn't submit it. So, he has it now.
Congratulations.
Yeah, so that should be fine. But other than that, my week has been all right. But yeah, now we can go to Jones. Are you ready? You know it's your turn.
Well, yeah, I was ready after I realized it was
You got to
my
go to
turn.
the mic or move the mic towards you. Move the mic. Oh yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's perfect.
Anyway, so
You now you hold it away from your mouth.
you said what?
There you go.
I didn't even move it though.
But you're moving your fucking head. I'm mad that you mad at me because you moved your head.
All right, so
I hate this nigga so much. I just want you to know that so much. Is how much I hate you so much.
like he said previously, we do have chimeras. We got chimeras in the air. We got chimeras in the ground. We got chimeras in the earth. Look out for the chimeras. They coming. But that's not what I'm starting with. So Stanford, right?
I'm about to say, if y'all don't keep bringing up chimeras and not explaining what the fuck that is. But I guess that's later.
Yeah, because it's actually quite an interesting story. But on to other things. I'm gonna start with my tech side first. So Stanford are creating these 3D bunnies.
Oh, I like bunnies.
But the 3D bunnies, the only reason they're
So
bunnies is because that was just like the basic model that they use for what they're doing. So what they do is they're sequencing somewhat like DNA into the 3D models, so that whatever's created, which obviously will be applied to other things, but things that are created, printed through that way, will also have their blueprint printed along with them. And originally the story confused the hell out of me because I didn't understand why they were telling me about plastic rabbits and DNA sequences. And then, of course, read more. DNA itself can hold 1 zettabyte worth of information,
Mm-hmm.
which is, I think, 1 million terabytes. Yeah.
Wow.
So,
Why is that necessary?
for DNA,
Yeah.
well, it all comes down to storing information and things in DNA, and being able to store that amount of information in items in general, because it also them being able to do it within the 3D rabbits, like you can literally take a corner of that rabbit's ear, and you wouldn't even know what the hell it was. Someone give you a piece of that corner, you can recreate that whole rabbit from that one little piece of the ear that they gave you. Along with like you could print, you could do, if they were able to figure this out completely, you'd be able to print information onto like anything essentially, and anything become a data carrier opposed to you having to have like
Madam, can you stop
SD
rubbing
disks
the
and
mic?
things of that sense.
Thank you.
So
Can we clone people?
I mean, that's just our DNA.
So yes.
No, we can't successfully clone shit.
That's a lot. Lil' Kim a clone.
You said what?
Lil' Kim a clone.
Lil' Kim is not a clone.
Yes,
That's
she
just
is.
a bitch that
I'm not
did too much
entertaining
fucking
that.
shit.
Lil' Kim a clone.
Anyway,
Lil' Kim is not a clone. That's what
clone.
happens
So-
when you ain't happy with yourself.
I don't know
we'll
what
be
the
able
fuck
to
over there.
recreate bunnies from their ear.
Can't we talk
It's not
about
real
Lil'
raps.
Kim
They're
being a clone?
it's information.
I thought y'all
It's
was my
basically
friends,
what this
clearly.
is if you encode information into something, and you only basically they're gotten to a point in which you could take just a little piece of that and recreate whatever that whole thing was. So you can put blueprints into things. You can information. I don't know what information you might want to store and keep forever, or get through something that you're not supposed to bring it with you, or just have somewhere secure that you don't want anybody else to know. You can put it on the most unimportant piece of shit and throw that somewhere, and it'd be your information. And no matter what the fuck happens to it or what the fuck goes on, as long as you have a piece of that information, you can always have that thing again.
So they can't recreate the bunny.
There were never real rabbits to begin with. You understand that, right?
So the answer is no.
Yes.
Okay, well this is dumb.
That-
I get what you're saying, but all that realistically is they made a better flash drive.
No, they made it so anything could be a flash drive.
A better flash drive.
I don't know, I guess.
It does the same thing.
Better.
So-
Drive.
So I'm not super excited about more storage. I'm sorry. That's what that ended up being.
Be excited about it. It was information. It was news.
That's why I was
What it
like, so
is.
we can't make clone bunnies from their ear? No,
That
all
was
right.
never the story to begin with.
Yeah, you started with bunnies, and I was just saying
Yeah,
maybe.
I said,
but see,
I said 3D printed
but
bunnies.
see, what I was
from
thinking
Stanford.
is maybe that they got the genetic code from real bunnies, used a 3D printer, and was like, we can store genetic code in these things and then recreate them. That'd be super dope if
No,
you
that's
could
just
like.
anyone with DNA, except for we can't recreate it perfectly.
Yeah, but see, that's my issue. My thing is, see, if you could like take my genetic code,
Mhm,
put it into a 3D printer, store it,
mhm.
and then when we need it and this body is all fucked up,
3D printers aren't that advanced yet. We
see,
barely can
that's
make
what I. But
organs.
so, like I said, what I wanted the story to be, and what you told me about, you told me about storage. Like I can save more files. I'm sorry, I'm not more excited, enthusiastic about saving files and shit. I
Like
apologize.
didn't expect you to be enthusiastic about it.
I
Just tell them the story.
I do apologize. I'll work harder.
All right.
I'm still excited about those bunnies though.
So
They're not even fucking real.
But basically, what they ended up
Fucking
doing
real.
was to prove the point was they took that one little piece of the ear and they were able to keep recreating, and then from that next piece you could take another smaller piece and recreate. Basically, the data repeats itself and recreates, and like anything else, like you would if it was real DNA,
Mm-hmm.
it deteriorates over time. It'll break down over time. But since it's a machine
Unless
that's
you're a
doing this,
turtle.
it could just fill the random spots.
If you're a sea turtle or a jellyfish, your DNA doesn't break down over time.
It does.
It just continues to regenerate.
It still breaks down though.
But what I mean is, it doesn't break down in the sense that it's not gonna come back and be useless like us.
Well, I mean, technically, our DNA doesn't really break down if you take and preserve it.
But we can't recreate it, so it's useless. Taking our DNA and preserving it is useless. It's not like a jellyfish.
I mean, taking their DNA and preserving it is
No,
useless
I don't-
too.
Yeah, but I don't want to preserve their DNA. The fact that they can just replenish theirs.
That's not their DNA that's doing that. Well,
it's their genetic code that doesn't have the limiter in it that says, hey, we're gonna, you know what, at this time, stop making new ones, and all the ones in us are gonna eventually fucking get old and stop working, and that's basically what death is.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. We don't have those.
No.
Yeah, I want those. How can we get those? How's the splicing coming along?
I will get there when I get there.
Oh, good. There's some splicing news. That's what I like to
How
hear.
the hell else we get chimeras?
What the fuck?
Oh, she's so upset.
How else we get chimeras?
Like-
Y'all part of a little club over there. You know what?
I feel like context clues at this point. You know what splicing is.
I'm
If I say
just
yes,
still
will you
surprised that you
believe me?
don't know what a you like of all the people that have been in this group, right? I expect you to know what a chimera is, Ash.
I know it's named after like a Greek god. That's all I know. That name is named after a Greek god. That's it. Y'all just keep saying chimeras. I'm like,
Okay, all right. Well, when I get there, you'll
I'll
find out.
It sound like a threat. God damn.
I mean, no, it's
Alright,
not really
so,
a threat. That'd be rude.
Who did this?
You better act right. I'm gonna get you these
say our
chimeras,
thing.
Ash.
That's what it sound like. It sound like y'all doing drugs and it's a deal. And it sound like, cause I don't know, I'm wrong.
Okay, so next we got self-driving microbots.
Oh my god.
So these little microbots, right, are essentially a little bit more into what you keep saying every week.
That we want to die.
Because these robots, what they do are, you know how I was talking about the what was they, the false cells that they were injecting that could move and be useful and shit.
Yeah, and you can hold the mic a little far now, cause farther away. There you go.
So they're doing the same thing with the robots, the microbots. So these microbots are basically things they're trying to develop in which they'd be able to be inside of like computers and things like that, and if something would go wrong, they'd be able to sense that and go fix it.
Ooh.
So you wouldn't have to constantly do repairs, and they'd be able to just like handle small situations
No.
and put things back together.
No.
That's what these microbots are up to.
That's just terrible. You know what that is?
Don't look at me like that.
You know the little silver robot that the Terminator was having such a hard time beating because it kept repairing itself?
Mm-hmm.
That's what this is.
Skynet 2.0.
Why do we keep moving towards a Terminator future?
Because it's our curiosity that does that.
But I feel like we all know the answer. Why are we curious about something we know? That's dumb. That's not curiosity anymore. If you know what the answer is, and you like, I'm going to just still move towards this, that's stupidity.
Well,
Well,
no,
think about it.
not
What if it's
necessarily, because
actually-
we wouldn't be anywhere we are in the world right now if we just was like, oh no, let's just stop.
That's not what I'm
I don't
saying.
even know if it's curiosity at this point.
But
That's
no,
what
it's
I-
like, okay, yeah, you're right. It's not curiosity, because if they know what it is, it's not curiosity. What they're trying to do is figure out the steps in between to get there.
Yes.
Because those applications, as harmful as they are, they're also helpful to us because they're doing things that help us get further on in our development as humans in our technology. So eventually,
I
yes, it
mean,
would be terrible. Just like the
making
Industrial Revolution was
computers
terrible.
more self-reliant isn't making things easier. Isn't making things better for our advancement. It's making things easier so that way we don't have to repair them. We could just stick to repairing things and keep that human element there, but
Mhm.
we're lazy.
Yeah.
It's human laziness that's leading
I mean,
us towards.
that shouldn't be surprising, though.
motherfucking
That's
Terminator.
humans.
But I was just saying, it's not curiosity. It's laziness. It's niggas being, you know what? I don't want to fix the machines when they break. Can we make them fix themselves? Yeah, we can do that. All right.
I mean, realistically, if they could just make machines that didn't break in the first place, they'd do that for themselves, because it's not financially.
yeah.
It doesn't help if everything breaks, and if things don't break, then you're not making money, because all I gotta do is buy it once.
Yeah.
I think my theory on it is just like both a conscious and an unconscious like super fear of death, because all these things sound like they just keep trying to regenerate life. Like the earth is clearly trying to take itself out. And they just keep trying to figure out ways to like make robots that just keep regenerating in these cycles and these cycles. I'm like, Just sounds like you guys are afraid to die at this point. I mean, I get it. Don't get me wrong, but it just sounds like it's just.
I
Like
mean, when
this
life
fear of death.
expectancy went from 30 to 80, 90, you know, people kind of got kind of happy about that.
Yeah, I would be too.
Especially when they, you know, the religious people hear stories in Bibles when people been alive 250, 500 years.
Yeah,
It's like, where my life at?
you know what's crazy? All of us, we would be old.
Yeah.
You think so?
I mean, if you took
Yeah,
it back
in the day,
150
yeah.
years, we're old.
Yeah.
What if we didn't live that long? What if we actually live longer than what they say? Like, what if our life expectancy would be like 250 years? What if it's the opposite?
I'm only going back 150 years. That's like the 1800s.
I'm like, I don't know what you just said.
That's what I'm
I swear
talking
to
about.
God.
Like, even like the 17, 1800s, you
Yeah,
were
like, what if
grown
essentially-
at like 13, 14.
Yeah.
And you're like almost near death at like 29, 30 because conditions
That's
are just
crazy,
so
'cause when I was walking
trash.
through the cemetery, everybody was dead at like 20 and 30 and shit. But that was
Yeah.
only between like the 1800s. Like if you go
That's
to the
what I'm saying,
Cleveland, between those times, I can believe it.
That's what I was talking about.
But
Like,
what if
if you
before
gotta go
then
back
you
that
lived
long,
hundreds of years?
Oh, that's possible.
yeah,
Yeah,
I believe it.
What if white people just died like that young? If it's not niggas, like
what?
for real.
I wonder how our bodies would do if we took a person that's adapted to like living in this environment and put them back where there's no pollution and none of that. Would we live so much longer?
Ugh, that's weird.
Or
What if you
will
took
we
an
die
ancient
quicker
Egyptian?
because there's like more germs and shit that we haven't got rid of yet?
What if you gave an ancient Egyptian flaming
We
hot
would die quicker
Cheetos?
because like that's the thing that.
So
That's
they
the
would die
thing.
quicker too. So you
Yeah,
can't
if you
leave your
flip-
time and go
No,
nowhere else.
man, no. You can pull somebody from back then and pull them forward.
But wouldn't they die because of all the pollution?
Yeah, like think of,
No,
you can't give a fucking.
Because think of the shit that they live in now. If your life expectancy was 30, the pollution it wasn't what was killing you. The pollution, the shit you was living in, what was killing you. You were diseased. It was disease ridden. You couldn't get away
I
from
don't
shit
think
like
your
that.
lungs are adapted to breathing in this air and filtering out all of the harmful shit that our bodies are probably used to now, having been conditioned over decades of our parents breathing in emissions and us breathing them in from children. I don't know how well their
Well,
bodies
first
would do
question. Let
with,
me
like-
ask you: how far back are you talking? Like, what are you talking about from back then?
Oh, before like when they were riding horses and shit.
Before the Industrial Revolution, how about that?
Like Gold Rush era.
No, I still don't think it'll make a difference. Honestly, I don't think us going back. Only reason I think us going backwards would fuck us up is because there are things like diseases and shit like that that would get us that we've never experienced because they were gone by the time we ever
See,
existed.
I think our air is too dirty. I'm pretty sure that our air is too dirty. Like, if the people in China have to wear masks, and they're accustomed to this, and it's so polluted there that they all, like, as a nation, have been decided, you know what? We're
Time
just
to put
gonna
on these
we're gonna
masks.
put
Maybe
these
if you
masks
take
on.
them and throw their ass in fucking China, yeah, because that's a cloud that looms over fucking
But
China.
that's also the same. They don't do it in LA, but they should. And so I'm saying, like, there's certain places in America that are just that small. So I'm like, would they be fucked up? Would their bodies not adapt to, since they're not adapted to, like,
They would die. Like,
breathing in, like, car smoke? Like, what if a car backfires?
nigga, eat a
in
bag
their
of
face?
Ruffle. Eat a Pringle. Come on now. Somebody from 1875 would eat a Pringle. They would die. Look how much salt is in that
I
bad
wonder how their
boy.
bodies would react to medicine.
Depends. Like, I don't think pulling somebody forward would really hurt them that much. I think
mean,
it's more
now I'm
harmful going
interested.
backwards.
See, now I'm interested to see. Well, I mean, obviously we can't do it, but it's just like curious. I wonder if there's like some research on it. I'm gonna look that up. So now I'm curious.
If I would go back, they'd be like, "Do you need some help, sister? You need help?" Yes, I do. I need the crystalline water, please. Yeah, if I went back, they would definitely be like, "Oh, bitch, you need some rest." What the fuck?
But yeah, like us going back, like we wouldn't be able to drink the water back then. We wouldn't be able to eat half the food back then. Any disease or anything would just anything from back then would fuck us up.
I mean, we could eat the food. We'd have to cook. We could only eat cooked food. You'd have to cook. Like, you could cook on an open fire and eat.
I wouldn't trust it.
I mean, fire is gonna kill it regardless.
Maybe.
if you get an animal and you cook it on a stick, you'll be fine. That you could do that today and be fine.
Sometimes. If an animal is parasitic and you cook that bitch on a stick, you're still going to be parasitic.
If the animal is parasitic.
Yeah, so.
But if you get a good horse.
I'm just saying, like.
I mean, yeah, but you can get a fucked up animal anytime. I'm just saying, like, you might be cool eating the meat. Now, I don't know if you can fuck with, like, the shit that they're making with their waters and their breads and shit.
I'm definitely not drinking shit back then. That's dead.
I would drink beer. Because that's what they did in the medieval time because their water was so fucked up and they didn't have a purification system as they only drank alcohol. That's why a lot of them died so young.
What period would you go back to have sex in, though? Like, choose a period that you would fuck in and choose a period that you would not absolutely take your dick out for nothing.
None of them.
None of them?
I go back. Wait, how far back can I go?
You gotta
Back
choose
to
anywhere.
The Egyptian era.
You fucking all the
I
Egyptian
ain't even going back
hoes.
there. No, that's too far.
No, I'm having
You
a
can
great
choose
time.
anything, but you gotta also choose one that you wouldn't put your dick out for,
And
like,
I'm
at
not
all.
pulling my dick out anytime during the 70s, the 60s or the 70s.
No?
That's when AIDS started to pop off.
Oh.
And niggas still wasn't wearing condoms because they didn't know what it was. They thought you could only get it from being gay. And that's not the truth. You can get it from a vagina, too. So
I'm not pulling my dick out anytime during the 1800s.
Facts. Me either. I'm not letting nobody fuck me in the 1800s. No Bartholomew. Get away from me.
no, see, that's why I'm going back to, like,
I'm going to go even further back. I don't know.
the
They like the
Egyptian time. 'Cause
1300s?
Egyptian times are pretty clean.
I don't even want Egyptians. I want to go before the Egyptians.
I'm trying to fuck that Atlantis and
I
Lemuria
could go
dick.
them or the Moors. I
The
could go
Moors
to-
was wreaking havoc on Italy.
I
God
could go to
damn.
Moorish time or Egyptian time, but those are the only two times that I'm going to. Where
If you
I'm,
was a
like,
Moor,
putting
you'd
my
have to
dick out.
fuck all the white hoes.
I don't gotta marry one.
Hmm?
I don't gotta marry one.
Yeah, you just gotta fuck them to, like, make their DNA better. I'm trying to fuck the Atlantis and Lemuria dick, y'all. I ain't gonna lie. I'm trying to do that. I've been up to the Egyptian times, like my homie just said. After that, from the 1300s to like 1920, maybe. Now that you said 1960s and 50s. No,
Yeah,
let me
the
say that.
niggas
I'm
is
gonna stop
wild.
to the 1900s because I feel like everybody was so sexually repressed from like the 1900s to like 1960. That's the good dick right there. That's that repressed dick. I love that. That taboo.
Yeah,
We
but
can't
see,
be doing this.
I don't know.
I
Where,
want that.
I mean, that might be a good time, but being in that time, I might also be hung. So I'm avoiding time periods.
No, I ain't afraid of that.
Okay,
I
that's
just
cool.
definitely want that taboo. Like,
All
we're not
right.
supposed to be doing it. And then they ain't had no air conditioner, so you just sweating.
That's not a plus.
You just hot. No, that's what makes it better. Like,
That's
when
not
I was
that hot
a
and sweaty.
teenager.
Look at her.
You complain about being hot all the time.
Yeah, but when you fucking, it's different. It's like,
I guess. I'm sorry.
oh yeah,
You got it.
So
a
bad.
lick of a nigga's sweat is lit. But I'm just saying, yeah, anytime before that, I'm definitely not having 1300s to like 1900s. I'm not doing it.
Yeah, no, I'm smooth. Just Egyptian era because I feel like that'd be pretty lit. Like fucking
Oh yeah, I'm there.
like yeah, I could do that. Egyptian women. That sounds
More
like
specifically, India. I'll probably more focus on India than I would Africa. Maybe I'll fuck a Viking. That sounds nice.
You said what?
she said she gonna fuck
A Viking.
Nah,
I'm trying to fuck a black Viking. Oh my god.
Good luck
yes.
finding one. Seeing as they all were from the north.
Niggas occupied that part too. Don't let them fool you. This whole earth is yours. Sorry if you didn't know.
Okay, well.
The digger they deep, the
okay.
wider the noses.
Okay, well, you go find you a black Viking.
With some
When
dreads
you
and
find
shit.
one, you let me know. 'Cause last time I checked, niggas ain't like the code. So,
All I know is I don't want any Viking pussy.
No
Mm-mm.
Viking pussy.
I'm
know-
good on that.
I'm really not. That doesn't sound like it's shaved.
It doesn't sound appealing.
And it sounds like
They
it
do
hasn't
sound
been
half.
shaved forever
Probably hasn't.
or washed.
Gotta stay warm.
No,
That
I feel
sound
like
like it
niggas ain't
smell
never
good.
been dirty. On my mind, it's black, so we ain't never been dirty, y'all. We ain't never been like disgusting. I don't
Nah, I
think.
seen some stinky niggas.
You might be stinky, but you ain't like.
Yeah, but I don't want to put stinky pussy in my mouth.
That's facts.
Yeah, so I'm
No, I'll just wash it off. I'll tell Heimdall. Just
but
push
they don't
your.
have soap.
And
They don't got soap.
The ocean water.
That's not gonna, they don't have
We'll
soap.
figure it out.
No, you don't got no
We'll
soap.
figure it out. We'll figure it out.
I'm going to the areas that it was clean.
We'll get some
The
mint from the
Egyptians had
forest.
waterways.
We'll get some mint from
They
the
was building
forest.
pyramids. They was fucking with the aliens. I know they had soap. And I might get me some alien pussy fucking with the Egyptian time period.
I said you can go to any period in which it was great civilization.
Yeah, that's what
But
I'm
I
saying.
don't
India is
know
my
the
top
other
choice. Oh, I'm
You know
definitely
what?
trying to fuck the Indians though. That
Like, I'm not
the
going
Native
to the Aztec
American.
cultures because they were about sacrificing.
That's fine. I'm gonna be Aztec or Mayan.
That's what I was about to say.
I mean,
That
the fucking Egyptians
I want
did
the
shit
North
like that,
American
too.
penis too.
True.
All the
But I
ancient
also
civilizations
realistically
did sacrifices and
want
things
to
in
know.
that sense.
But I want to know how they built the pyramids. I really just want to see that.
Everybody wants to know how the motherfuckers
Yeah,
built the
but
pyramids.
so if I could go somewhere, that's where I'm going.
I
And
mean,
then I'm not
Yeah.
telling you.
if that's the
niggas.
case, but at the same time, that's the same thing that stands for all the other pyramids across the world. We don't know how the motherfuckers got built for real.
True.
Can't wait to find
The
out.
Egyptian pyramids,
The
the
right thing is,
Aztec,
like,
the Mayans, the
You
fucking
niggas went
Indians.
around and blasted noses off of the pyramids. Y'all were really upset about Egypt.
Wouldn't you be mad
So-
too if you looked around
But
and you ain't
that's why
had
I
no
wanna
mark in
go
the
back
world?
and just see why y'all was so upset. Let me see the beauty of it. Let me see what it looked like, all pristine. Give me
And
some-
think about it,
a
like-
great time. Yeah, to be lit.
For everything that we built, we also built under. So if you see a mound like the Ohio mounds, there's shit under that. I would be mad too if I didn't have this genius that we had. You would be so mad if you to look around and be like, damn, what am I doing here? You niggas have done everything. Damn. I'd be mad too. I'd be mad at my daddy too, for real. I'd shoot your nose off if I didn't have much. I'm just saying. I'd be a little perturbed. Nigga, you did everything. What the fuck am I supposed to do? I don't know. Make aspirin? You did good at that, son. You did good. Niggas got less headaches because of you.
Hey, I want less headaches. I'm not mad at that.
Yeah, you're
All
not
right.
mad at it. But I'm figuring for sure if we were in charge, for real, we would have no headaches. Just like we did in, the Egyptian times. What were you saying, Marcus? Sidetracked.
All right, so
Chimeras?
no, not yet. I actually have a lot of science.
Not
this
yet.
week.
I'm gonna tease ass.
I got stories. Tiny magnetic particles enable new material to bend, twist, and grab. So, O State and Georgia Institute of Technology together developed this soft polymer material. They use magnetic shake memory polymer and magnetic fields to transform into various shapes and things that could be useful to everyday life. And it also would allow different variants in between certain items that usually you'd have to switch in between, like antennas and things of the sense. It allows for, you could do, like, this is just one of the examples I use for, like, let's say you use a magnetic material, the polymer, and shape it as a gripper arm, right? You could alter the material in a way in which the gripper arm could be hardened and reinforced to pick up heavier objects, or softer and lighter to be able to pick up more delicate things. It'd be the same thing, just the material changes because of the magnetic fields and whatnot. It's 3 different ingredients. Is 2 types of magnetic particles, and one is for heat, the other one's for attraction, and then you have the memory polymers that help lock it into shape and into whatever you're trying to use it for at the point in time. So
Memory polymer.
you said what?
Memory polymer.
Yeah, polymers, twisting the world and flipping them. That was all for that, for real. Just we got more shit. In a minute we're gonna have, like you said, those interchangeable robots and machines and automatons. Oh, that's the new word I like to use now, automatons.
Look at you feeling fancy. Hate you.
Okay. I don't care about fruit flies. Oh, Americans are taking fish antibiotics.
Of course we are.
Fish antibiotics.
Yeah, because drugs are too fucking expensive, and people want to go cheap.
That's pretty cool.
And apparently they work for us too. It's like when poor people used to eat like cat and dog food back in like the depression and shit.
For real?
Mm-hmm. That's why
That's
all dog and cat
crazy.
food right now has to be it's all the like canned dog and cat food
Uh-huh.
is edible by humans just because of that. Is made so it could be eaten by humans because of that situation with depression. It's the lowest grade of food for us, but you still can eat it.
So.
Okay, I'll tease chimeras for real. All right, so a chimera, Ash,
Mm-hmm.
is a creature that is created by splicing animals together of different species.
Mm-hmm.
It only needs 2 to be a chimera, but you know, lore leads it to like 3, sometimes 4 different animals. You know, like chimera, the lion head, snake tail. Yeah, that's a chimera.
Well, that makes sense.
Now, the chimera I'm talking about is not as interesting as like a lion snake with wings and breathes fire like a dragon. But
Don't worry.
what we
boo,
did
gonna make
was, oh no, Will, we didn't do this. China did this. We did something else, which I'm surprised we pulled off over in Cali, but whatever.
Good for us.
China decided to throw macaques, which are crab-eating monkeys, and pigs together because, you know,
Why
pigs.
not?
Pigs are the closest things to humans when it comes to organs and body parts. So yeah,
That's interesting.
which yeah, that is really interesting. But aside from that, they made these hybrids, these chimeras, which were put into. They took the DNA of the macaques and put them into the pig. Pig gave birth 10 piglets. There weren't any like real visual differences. What it was the body parts and the organs, or like the organs on the inside. Like majority of the pig's organs were like the monkeys. And basically, the point of them doing this is the only reason they ever try to grow anything inside of animals is for us. Which, you know, in my mind, I figure you should just go ahead and let's get that 3D printing together and we'll be all right. But for now, yeah, but because before 3D printing was a thing, their plan was to get this whole organ transplant thing together, was to grow that shit inside of animals and just take the organs out of animals. And they're kind of like rolling back onto that. I guess they trying to get that together now.
Right.
And see now but the issue is when we do gene splicing, we still haven't figured it out all the way. So things don't stay alive. 8 of the piglets were actually just regular piglets. 2 of them were chimeras.
Mm-hmm.
The chimeras lived longer than the regular piglets,
Really?
Good for the chimeras.
but they still died.
Well, of course. If you say they live longer,
Yeah.
that means they're not alive.
Now what we did over here in Cali, humans, they spliced humans with chimps.
Humans with monkeys?
Yeah, but they weren't allowed to stay alive. Because when
That's
you
not funny.
see the reason they don't splice humans together with a lot of things, because then it gets in the whole ethnicity thing. And if it has a human brain or it has the ability to think like a human, guess what? Now it has rights. So we not doing that. And it can't be alive because there was a chance that it could have had like half human brain or half human da 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 da. So that's like, nah, we can't let y'all keep that. That's no. But if we are able to do that, next time you see that one nigga walking down the street who like he extra stronger for no reason, remember we've been out here splicing, all right.
I'm trying to have a tiny one. Like I feel like if I was like an evil genius, I would have a tiny one in my lab.
Like they did in
Yeah.
the Spy Kids movie.
Yeah. I'll
Had like a
have
little tiny like orangutan spider. That would be lit. I want that.
Yeah, I want like a tiny like, Noodle from the Gorillas. I want something like that.
Noodles from the Gorillas.
Yeah, like I want a smart little Asian half robot. Well, now she a half robot. I do, just to be by my side, to just like make shit and wreak havoc on things and create things for
Mojo
no
Jojo?
other reason other than it's just for us to have it
Okay.
in my lair.
In your lair.
Your lair.
Yes.
Does it get to come out?
Yeah, it can come out. It just can't be doing the things that we do in the lair outside. I had to teach it like, listen, calm that shit down. We don't go out that often.
Oh, we also did the pig human thing. But, since we're America, like I said, same thing with the monkeys. And then it could be partially human. So they only let it live for a month. They didn't even let it live they let the embryo develop for a month. And they was like, hey, nah. Mm-mm. Like, hey, is it possible he could have a human brain? Yeah. No. Chalk it. I'm pretty sure there's somewhere in the world where it's happened.
So
we just don't know about it because, ethnic things.
So pretty much, we're getting closer to being able to make people.
Wouldn't be surprised if we can't make people already.
Yeah, but what I mean is like
Them telling us about it? Yeah.
All I care about is things that they're going to tell us about,
Mm-hmm.
because those are the things I'm going to be able to get to the quickest.
Yeah, so we're getting closer to them telling us, yes. That's what you're asking.
Beautiful. That's what I like.
I mean, like, it's like every week, it's like, oh, this happened. Oh, this happened. Oh, so all of a sudden at the end of 2019, every damn week we got something exciting happening in science. I feel like realistically, something happening, y'all just slowly releasing everything just so we know before y'all do some fuck shit. But, whatever. I'm done with science. That's it. That's all I had. Oh, wait. No, I don't care about that.
Why not?
Because I don't care about tow trucks in space and
Tow trucks in space.
yeah, tow
What
trucks
we
in
towing?
space. Tow trucks in space. No. They want to send it's just stupid. I don't care.
I imagine you couldn't even be bothered.
Yeah, because they want to tow all the bullshit out of our orbits. Because
Look at that, Tony! Oh my God!
That is getting too much shit up there.
They're not taking it to the sun.
No, because
They are doing half the
basically
stuff,
what
though.
they're doing is
No, they're
the
not taking anything
thing they
from the
would send
planet.
up there to tow all that shit. It would grab it and pull it back into our atmosphere, meaning it would burn up in our atmosphere before it ever comes down to Earth. Because all that shit that's up there would burn up in our atmosphere if it ever fell from up there, except for like a couple of the satellites. We got about 2,000 failed satellites in our orbit, and 3,000 just there for any reason. And like they're starting this shit now because realistically, they're going to keep shooting satellites, and if they don't do something about it, it don't matter how much y'all want to leave the planet, y'all not going nowhere because we got too much debris in space. Just around the planet, not in space in general, just around our planet, in our orbit, that we put there. So now they're trying to do something about it.
No, they should leave that there and fix here. And
I mean, a Nobel Prize astronaut just said that too.
yeah,
Like, hey, how about we stop looking at the stars and just like, try to fix here.
ain't that something? Me and the astronauts are agreeing.
And Elon Musk sent weed to space.
Because
The nigga that smoked the least amount of weed, he
This
sure is obsessed
nigga.
with fucking weed.
He didn't do it because he wanted to. The company is using SpaceX to get it to space to see if it'll have any effect on the weed. It's not even like smoking weed is hemp.
he gotta go. He tripping. Like, what's wrong with him?
But nah, I'm done with science for real though. I ain't shit to talk about.
Okay. I still want to know what's wrong with him.
You said what?
What's wrong with Elon?
I don't know.
Why he always.
I mean,
doing
all his
stuff.
shit going the way he wanted to right now.
You know,
SpaceX is going up and down, dropping off things. It's doing its damn thing.
He's doing demos for Cybertrucks and talking about their shatterproof glass windows, and
Oh, that's a good
then
question
they
to
get
ask.
shattered.
Do you think that was a great marketing ploy or terrible?
I think that Elon Musk thought they were shatterproof, and then when they weren't, he didn't care, and he just continued on with his marketing. It's what I think actually happened. So I don't know if, because it was ugly when you looked at it, because it was like a black eye. You had to look at the rest of the video after he said, "Yeah, it's gonna be shatterproof," and then he
Crash.
hits it and then it shatters. And then it's like, well, try the back window. And then he shatters that one too.
See, that's why I choose that
So,
nigga to go to space with.
Maybe not that hard. What you mean, my nigga? Maybe not that hard.
I choose him to go to space with. I love risky people. And that nigga risky.
Yeah,
That nigga's silly.
yeah, he is. That nigga shooting everything.
I'm going to
up that
space with
motherfucker.
him. Because we going to the depths, baby. We might not come back, and I'm okay with that.
Shit, you not.
I'm all right with that.
You not coming back.
He going to go through the black hole just like they did in Interstellar,
Fucking
and
with
I'm
Elon
okay with
Musk.
that. Let's go.
And he be the one to do that shit too.
I'm going.
Bezos wouldn't do it. Bezos is evil.
Yeah, Bezos is just,
He's a super villain.
he just needs to take over this place. Me and Elon, we going to the depths, baby. Come on.
Yeah, Bezos leaving too though. Bezos want his own planet for himself. What? Don't look at me like that. He is. I told you, billionaires exit. Elon Musk ain't the only billionaire that got shit. And Boeing. Boeing just made their first fucking spaceship that can land, go into space, and come back
Mhm.
and be reused to go back into space. That's not a thing. We have to make a ship every time we shoot a motherfucker up there. Because once it hits the atmosphere and comes back,
Useless, like,
it's over with. So Boeing, Bezos, SpaceX, there's another company in there too that's just not as popular.
mhm.
They ain't got as much money, so people don't talk about them for real. But they're in there. They're more on the asteroid mining thing. Because one of our, what's the name, just got to the asteroid that's supposed to skim us in like 20 years. And then they discovered that bitch is just shooting out random rocks. They don't
What
know
planet
why
you
the fuck
living
that's
on,
happening.
Marcus?
What?
What planet you gonna live on?
The planet I'm on?
Oh, you ain't going nowhere?
No.
You staying here?
I'm good here.
I'm going to Neptune.
I mean, if I had to pick something that wasn't here, it probably wouldn't be a planet. It'd probably be one of the moons.
For real?
Around one of the planets.
Around Saturn?
Maybe Jupiter. I don't know.
You gonna live on Titan, all right?
I
chose your fucking-
not Titan. Well, Titan would be interesting. It's another one. It's like it starts with an E. I can't think of the name. I think it's
All
around
right.
Saturn.
I'm gonna visit you and bring some Neptune weed just
Like
for you.
Clean, yeah. It's like a Greek name or some shit.
Where you living, Tony? What planet you choose to live on if you didn't have to choose to live on Earth?
The Shi'ar planet.
Hmm?
The Shi'ar planet.
What's that?
Marvel.
It's a planet in Marvel Comics. But if I got to pick a real one, I guess like Centurion 8. No particular reason. I just think that
because
it's
you
far
so
away
anti
Yeah.
from the regular non-planets.
yeah.
Why you gotta be so bougie? God damn, Centurion E. Nobody asked you about that.
Yes, you did. You asked me where I would go,
Oh, okay.
and that might be a star, but I'm gonna live there anyway. It'd be lit.
I was gonna say I'm pretty sure that's a star.
I know.
'Cause I'm like, ain't no planets outside our solar system got real names.
This nigga gonna be studying on
I found it's
Centurion
like
E.
Titan.
That's not a planet,
There's some planet.
It's a
has
moon.
name.
and it's not outside our solar system. It's one either Saturn or Jupiter's moons.
No, it's a planet that looks like our planet, but it's not. It's hella far.
Oh yeah, they just got numbers. It's like S158243.
Yeah, but they call it something else friendly. It's not. Even like that, but they call it.
I was gonna say like actual planets, unless they sometimes they give them real names. If they feel like it's important or like might have life, like our second Earth that they found all the way like around Alpha Centauri, light years that we can't even think about
I'm going to
reaching.
Second Earth on Alpha Centauri,
Oh, okay.
and I'm gonna go hang out with them.
Lost in space.
fuck second Earth bitches.
That's
I'm
what
gonna let y'all. I'm gonna send y'all email about how Second Earth pussy is.
Thanks.
Y'all not gonna get it by
I
the
was
time.
say we never gonna get that bitch.
Y'all, yeah, no, y'all not, but the Earth will.
Yeah. We're never gonna see that motherfucker.
Nigga, it light
That
up.
bitch move faster than light speed.
It sparkle when she come.
There's
What?
like motherfucking Avatar in this bitch.
Nah, I'd be disappointed. I'd be like, don't do that.
You don't want no sparkly
you gonna get me
pussy?
caught up because what if the dicks are supposed to sparkle too? And I just got this Earth one dick. Bitch, you about to get me caught up, and now niggas about to like treat me like I'm an alien. No. Cut that shit out. Cut your shit off.
They gonna be talking about you. This nigga's dick don't sparkle.
Yeah. No, I'm not doing that. I'm not.
Non-sparkly dick.
No,
This shit-
no, cut that shit off.
Girl, where you get that Earth nigga from?
Where did you find him?
Where you find him?
I don't even know.
This
Like, how
nigga
do you
got
even know
lungs.
he's ready.
Yeah. Nigga got lungs. What the fuck?
His dick don't turn green when he horny?
No.
No. So how do you know?
What's those markings all over his body? Girl, he just came like that.
I saw him one day falling out the sky. Yeah, no, but that's right. Yeah. But they shit can't do nothing like that's gonna make me like stand out and be weird. Like the tattoos, I could just say like I'm from like a weird village. But
Yeah, this right here.
Physiologically, you can't be different because then I can't like fake that. Like if your eyes is just like blink the opposite way, like you blink sideways instead of up and down. Like my eyes not gonna do that.
Right.
So
like most reptiles.
Yeah.
And other things.
yeah, so I wear glasses.
Sharks.
I wear sunglasses all the time. I'm wearing whole ass sunglasses all the time. Why you wear sunglasses on the inside? You ain't heard that song? Nah, it wasn't made out here. Hey, you know what I would do? If they didn't have like our music, I would recreate all of our hits to see if it worked.
You can't be
Nigga,
cloud chasing because
I
you're
wear
not down here.
Sunglasses all the time.
Exactly, all the time.
All the time.
Because I am so amazing. Yeah.
This a new bop. What's a
Yeah.
bop?
Oh my god, I gotta go.
I think
I would just
somebody
be the
hit the
hermit. I
sound
wouldn't talk to
barrier.
nobody.
No.
Nah. Oh, this little whore. That's fine. If someone got loud, I don't know. One of us was laughing and being loud.
Probably me.
It's usually you. But I guess we can go into my topics now. What I wanted to talk about first and foremost, which I was going to start the episode with, but then I didn't. Rest in peace, Juice WRLD.
R.I.P. homie.
R.I.P., bud.
Yeah. Still not exactly sure all the details, but all the rumors around the death involve drugs and 70 pounds of weed. We're not in here to get into that specifically with him. I did want to talk to y'all about how it seems like a lot of young artists are dying within like the last couple of years off of like drugs and yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of them died from drugs, just specifically.
Not to mention the ones that just randomly hit by violence like Nipsey and XXX Tentacion.
Yeah.
So yeah. What do y'all think about it? Y'all think that it's like a epidemic in rap now that all of the youth seems to be like coming out with hits and then passing away?
That's a good question.
Or
I mean,
going to jail? It's like those are the options. It's either they're dying or they're indigo with like cases and
well,
going to prison.
What you saying it that way? It's like, well, that depends on how you were in your music. Because a lot of the ones that are going to prison are like gangster rap. All the ones that are dying are like alt rap. That's what I'm going to call it. Alt rap.
Okay.
For the most part.
Party rap.
Yeah, party rap. Alt rap,
They
party
talk
rap.
about doing the drugs, kicking it, lean, all that. Yeah.
That's a good question.
But along those lines, right, it's like, it's crazy because I want to say Mac might be the one I don't never heard it from. But
Yeah, Mac's music never really reflected his like drug struggle.
yeah, no, that's not what I was that's not even the point I was bringing. It was like X, right? X said it once or twice in his music before he was shot. I'm pretty sure Juice WRLD said it at least once or twice.
Juice WRLD
Talking about
has a
like,
line that says, "What the fuck is the 27 Club? We're not making it past 21," which is really ironic that he died
Right.
the week after his 21st birthday.
it's I forgot what the point I was making.
Ironic doesn't mean funny, just so y'all know.
Right.
But people are dumb and they would be like, "Oh, what do you mean it's funny?" That's not the words that I used.
Oh. Becoming more iconic in a sense. And like I said, I'm pretty sure I've never heard Mac say anything about iconic or being anything like that after death. But they're two that definitely have. And not to say like obviously X got shot and this nigga died over overdose from what we know so far. Not to say it was done on purpose or anything in a sense, but it's like it's also a mindset within them.
Yeah, like if you speak it up,
Yeah.
pulling the energy towards yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I can definitely get that.
Cause like yeah, like you almost no one loves you till you gone or some along those lines, you know. Definitely, it ain't you're not really famous till you're dead and things shit like that. And like people with those mindsets, cause with them being people who use drugs to run from their shit, even though they were able to channel it into music, it still sits on them. Cause like even when they're talking about Juice WRLD right now, like there were claims and things talking about him being addicted to lean and perks and shit like that.
Yeah.
So them leaning on that, it's all it takes is like that one anything for you to just be done with, like with him. You did a little bit too much, or you was trying to get something done. And
Do you think it's a deeper conversation than just talking about like them being on drugs? Because I feel like
yeah,
every time this happens, everybody comes in, "Oh, it's so fucked up. We gotta stop doing the drugs and things like that." But then I feel like it's more so a mentality.
yeah, it's a lot deeper than drugs. The drugs, yeah, that's what I was trying to get at right there, because it's not the drugs aren't what it is. It's the coping, the issues, and whatever they're going through in their lives that they feel that they can't deal with. That's why the drugs are there. That's why you have your whole like. That's where that whole like little wave came in when you had people like X, you had people like Juice WRLD, where it was like it was almost comparable to fucking emo rock, but in rap, in which it was nothing but emotion, feeling, and all that shit. It's nothing but them hiding behind their music and the drugs, because the music was another outlet, along with the drugs was coping, but the music was an outlet. And sometimes it was almost like sometimes listening to certain people, I'd feel like it was a call for help, like a cry for help, or them like saying this, and that. Are you really listening to them? Or are you just listening to their music? And then no one pays attention until they're gone. And then you'll have certain situations where people pull up things like, oh, they said this, they said that. Well, they were saying that shit when they was alive. You ain't pay attention till they died. So, I don't know.
What do you think, Ash?
I wish it was more like mentors around them saying like, hey, this is cool and all, but is it really gonna like project the longevity of your career? Like, why are you really going this hard on drugs for real? I wish there was more people around them to help them out with that. But then again, what can you tell a 21-year-old who think they invincible? You know what I mean?
Do you think that it's the generation before them, the Futures, the Waka Flockas, the fucking what's his name, Young Thugs, that perpetuated, or shit, even Wayne, that perpetuated doing lean and popping pills and things like that have any accountability towards this?
Yeah, because that's just kind of like ingrained in your pop. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of ingrained in your culture now. Like I said, I just wish it was more people around them saying like, is this really what you want to put out in the world? You know what I mean? I get it for money and whatever, but is this really who you are and what you want to put out? And this is what you want your legacy to be? This is a really sad legacy to leave behind. You got took out over some pills, or what made you famous was the party life. I can't say like rappers or being in the music industry wasn't always about living hard and living fast or whatever and dying young.
That
But
sounds like half the fucking music industry.
right, so it's what sells, and I know necessarily like if people around them and what's selling is talking about popping pills and shit like that, no one's necessarily gonna stop them. But I just wish they had more people around them asking them like really tough questions. But that's not to say like if you'd have asked me at 21 some really tough questions, would I have chose a different path? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I can't say that one would have helped and one would have made things worse. But
You know, I can't say if one would have made things worse or would have helped, but I don't know. I know Juice WRLD said that, or he thanked Future for introducing him to lean. So it's like things like that. It's like there's a direct correlation with what you niggas was doing and this generation viewing that as an acceptable pastime.
I'm saying, yeah, there's definitely a correlation. Like, just
yeah.
I know, like, the older people around me, like, you might drink around them, smoke your little bud around them, but if you get to popping pills or doing anything outside of that, they gonna get to looking at you funny and start saying something to you. But I don't feel like either our generation or the generation before us, like, not that older generation, but like our parents' generation, I don't think that they gave those side eyes to anybody to be like, you should be really doing that. Like, that's not the move. It just like became like a party culture and everything was permissible.
Yeah, my parents told me about how they was partying and there was really no one to say, hey. Like if my parents would have told my parents that's not okay at all under any circumstances. My parents, you know, like you said, like they smoke bud pretty regularly, or anyway, they smoke bud pretty regularly, so that's just kind of normal for them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like our parents grew up in the crackhead culture. A lot of those motherfuckers did cocaine and crack. Those two is pretty interchangeable.
Yeah.
So is there any really guidance from them either? Like I said, Future probably about my age, right? Or around our age. Or a little bit older.
than us, probably. Like 30 something.
My 30s.
Yeah, so he didn't
He's
have
still
no
in our
parents.
generation,
Mid-30s.
technically.
Yeah, so he didn't have his parents telling him like, probably no.
Yeah, I could see like people being raised in the crack era and having a different perspective on drugs and
Yeah.
like coping mechanisms. I just think that if you're gonna show one side, you got to show the other. And we didn't do a very good job of showing both sides of, oh, I drank so much lean that I passed out and I pissed myself and
Right.
I couldn't get up and people had to come and pick me up and take me to the hospital, or I had a seizure. We don't talk about those times. Like, niggas just want to talk about how they was
Yeah,
having a good
the
time.
essentially
Take-
just
I'm saying
highlight reels.
They talk about it. We just ignore it.
That's no. They talk about it now,
No, they talked about it then, because that's how Fuck Pimp C died.
but no. He didn't talk about that in his music.
No, but what I'm saying is they talk about it.
What I'm saying
Just
is they
because
don't
it's
talk
not
about it
directed.
in their music.
No, because no one's gonna listen to it.
But that's the issue. If in our music before that it was ganging, but there was a certain level of standards. It wasn't pill popping and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
The streets and everything like that followed that standard. And then music became, oh, we're gonna do this. And so if music is the direct language of our culture,
Mm-hmm.
and it is telling us that these are now the things that our culture does as a uniform thing to be like accepted, to be cool, to be like in the in crowd,
Mm-hmm.
then that's what the younger generation is going to trend to, because the music is something that they find cool. And so if the music is saying it, they rocking with it. And so
Right.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
have,
I mean, like
got
I see
5
what
on
you're
it.
saying.
Like, I listen to like
I get what you're
Yes
saying.
Mouth telling me I got 5 on a weed sack.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I didn't listen to a nigga telling me that shit, pull up 4 and some alcohol and be slumped. Like, that wasn't like who I was really growing up listening to. Like, all the niggas I listened to was getting high and getting to the money.
Yeah.
These niggas was just getting high.
Mm.
There was no getting nowhere else. It was just getting high.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, y'all took any type of like standard moral, like do some shit out of it. It just became addicts.
Yeah. I mean, realistically, all they did was show the other side of the board.
Yeah, you showed us what the addict was. It's like we gave the addicts the microphone, and I'm not mad that because you need to see both sides, and I respect that. But even from the addict, they only showed the party side of the addict. They didn't show, like, when you got the gangster lifestyle. Yeah, it was glorified because you gonna have the money and cars, but we still got shit. Excuse me, like tracks like "I Can Feel It in the Air" from Beanie Siegel talking about like niggas dying and your circle having to be small and shit like the negative side of it. We didn't get any negative side of being an addict. It was just all party kicking and everything like that, and that's not the life of an addict for real.
That's
No,
why I
it's not.
think a good point was like how hip hop
But-
was kind of hijacked in that way, because hip hop was kind of like a coping mechanism for your community. Like you had to create a flow to be able to express what was going on. But if you had to take it like what's the one shit, I forget. But there's so many songs to tell you like how hip hop got its origins, and then all of a sudden it was about partying. Like that shit happened way before we got the Futures and stuff like that. Like think about it with Diddy and Mace. Now all of a sudden it was about flossing. When before, if you listen to Wu-Tang or anybody before that, they was talking about some shit that was relevant to them at the time. And then all of a sudden you got flossing, you trying to get bitches, you know what I'm saying? And I'm pretty sure it was things before that. But then somewhere along the way, hip hop got kind of hijacked. Now all of a sudden it's about stunting. Now all of a sudden it's about how much you can get, rather than it being kind of like another creative outlet that niggas made. And I think it's happened way before we got our Futures and shit like that. Because think about it, he had to get it from somewhere.
What is it? Well, okay. Well, what I was going to say is, yeah, what Tony's saying is correct. But we see more or less because of who we get our music. Well, you get your music from people that got fucking money. So you see the addict, but you see the rich addict. You don't see the normal.
Yeah.
You don't see the average fucking addict. You don't see the average person that would be on the fucking street or in their house drinking on some fucking lean. So people are okay with the fucking rich addict.
Yeah, because it's highlight reels. You don't want to be fucking sad. You don't want to listen to music and be taken nowhere in a dark place unless you choose that.
Yeah, I feel like. I mean, I agree with what y'all saying. I think it's shitty. I don't know how we can like address the situation as a culture.
It'll die down. I think it'll go away.
Like it's gonna fade
has
just like
to.
everything else.
Yeah.
You can't address it as a culture because realistically, that's you telling them niggas not to make money, and all they're gonna do is say fuck you.
Oh no, I'm not saying like
And,
tell
like-
niggas not to make money, but I mean address it as a culture as how about we address the trauma that our youth are dealing with, and give them the tools to deal with it in a better way. How about we offer like healthcare to our new artists that are getting signed, so that way, or mental health care as a part of you signing, so that way you can, you know, have an outlet that's not you taking pills or you getting a cup of lean. That's what I mean is it address, like, because we're not going to be able to tell you not to make the type of music that you want to make, but if we can address the actual root of the issue, then we can help change like your perspective on things, and then you're gonna just talk about different shit naturally. So that's what I mean, like really address like what's happening to like the young people, and not like, hey, you niggas need to make different music because niggas are gonna make whatever they want to make.
Right. And once again, like, this is my personal opinion on this alone. I always hated when people blame people or blamed actions on music, because I always felt like like I said once again, I always felt like when I listen to something, because I listen to all types of music. I listen fucking trap music, gangster rap, all that types of shit, drug music, addict music, whatever the fuck you want to call it. But it's never put me in a mindset where I'm like, I'm gonna go do that because of what the fuck I was listening to.
And see, I guess I could say the exact opposite, but it might be the environment that I grew up in. And so me listening to California music, just even on the radio, it's like it's gang affiliated.
Right.
So that always made the gang lifestyle intriguing to me and appealing to me.
Like, don't get me wrong, it appeals to me, but it's like okay,
I guess what I'm saying is like it appealed to you, but it wasn't next door, so you couldn't just necessarily go to it automatically. But I'm saying for everyone that is like you that doesn't have that like access, there might be those ones like me that we're both appealed. I just happen to be able to go next door and now I fall into it.
That's not what I'm saying, because it's not like I didn't have the option. There was times in my life where y'all probably would have never met me if I would have went this way. But I didn't, because I stayed doing what the fuck I was doing because it didn't appeal to me like that. What I mean is, like, I always used to get in arguments, like, people would be like, oh, this is happening because of this. This is happening because of that. It's like when people were like, separate the music from the people, separate the music from real fucking life. Half the time, a lot of this shit that they're talking about, yeah, that's their life. They live that life. You see that, and that is what it is. That doesn't make me like, oh yeah, I want to go out here and be a gang nigga. I want to do this. I want to do that. I just enjoy the fucking music. I just enjoy the way the music is. It doesn't affect my life. It doesn't make me want to go do this. It doesn't make me want to go shoot some niggas up or some type of shit like that. You said what?
It changes how you talk. It changes the words that you use.
Yeah, I agree. Music got some effect. How you
Even
let it take, how far you let it
level,
take you is definitely up to you. But it do affect us on some level.
It affects everybody on some level. Now, you having a limiter and saying it stops there, that might not be for everybody. That's what I'm saying. Cause
that's why I said this is my opinion on the whole situation.
I'm not saying like, I'm just saying that it affects people on a spectrum. So I'm not saying that your opinion is wrong or anything like that. I'm just saying that even inside of that, like, you're affected by hip hop in the way that you speak, the context that you kind of see the world in certain aspects, has been shaped by this culture, which has been influenced by the music. So if us as adults can recognize, hey, even some of the shit we do now today has been influenced, and we still do it today, knowing that that's where it came from. I don't know if a 14, 13, 16-year-old has the rationale to be like, this is why I want to do that, and that's not my original thought or idea, and I'm not gonna go there. They might just be like, fuck it, and just dive right in. So I don't blame music. I'm not saying that, oh, music is what's making people do things, because I think that each person is predisposed to be more successful to influence or not, and so you're going to be influenced by just different things in life in general. And so whether it was music or something else, you were going to get that influence to do something that probably wasn't your original idea. So I just think that we have a lot more people that don't have original ideas and have original identities now than we did before. I feel like Marcus was Marcus when he was younger, and you were more secure in who Marcus was because you had less voices telling you who you should be.
Somewhat, yeah.
Whereas I feel like today, like, all kids have like a phone with thousands of voices telling them, hey, this is the ideal of what you should be, and if you're not this, you kind of trash, and we all gonna make fun of you because you're not this. And so it's like, well, I need to be this then. And so that's kind of what I see. It's like, it's not necessarily the music, it's just we've created like a generation of people who don't have identity. They have no real identity, so they just like adopt whatever seems like the most popular identity at the time.
No, I can see that. I just always hate the fucking conversations. That's all it was.
Oh no,
It's
because
like
I
arguing
agree.
with
Like
me. It's
I don't like when people
oh,
play
music does this, and that. No, that's people not having the ability to choose and make their own fucking decisions.
Yeah.
That's what that is.
Yeah, because I didn't want to
Don't
be
blame the
like
fucking
people who
music.
blame music, because people who do that also blame like, oh, all these killings are because of video games. That's not the truth.
No.
And so like I didn't want to come up like that. Like I don't think it's that. I just think that we don't have people with identity, so they're just
Right.
like adopting whatever identity they think is the most popular and the most like attractive to
Mhm.
everybody else.
Right.
And that just happens to be like a shitty one that we're putting out right now.
And personally, I've always just been anti, so half the time I never rocked with all the shit that I was supposed to be doing anyways. Or people expected me to do.
I feel that.
Yeah, I don't even think that's a new issue. Just think about it. Our parents is programmed by like the Isley Brothers and all that shit. Them niggas is shooby doo wop. I'm gonna love you no matter what.
My mother
Until
was
the end of
programmed
time, and that's they vibe. Like that's who they are, and a whole amalgamation of other things. Is it worse than it would to be today? I can't compare it to anything, so I really don't know. But I know it's not. I don't think that's what you're discussing is like.
And that's my thing.
issue.
Like, it's crazy because it's more or less it's just like anything else that happened that used to happen all the time, and it's just exposed by the fact that we're more connected in the world nowadays.
But I guess
Mhm.
it kind of goes back to what you were saying though, Ash, where you're like you feel like hip hop music has been like hijacked.
Yeah.
I guess I would say that's how I feel about the black identity. I feel like even if it was the Isley Brothers,
Mhm.
that was still like our insulated identity. And now we don't have that so much as an insulated identity. It's just grabbed from everywhere, and I don't think that's necessarily the best for us.
I feel that.
And so I feel like it's whitewashed now. It's like,
Yeah,
yeah.
I can agree with that.
But that was a randomly deep conversation about, well,
that,
I guess.
that just made me think about something else completely different.
What were you going to say?
When you were talking about the boxing thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, even with that, I feel like when it comes to black people are starting to like spread out
Yeah.
and get into more things. Because even with that, with the box, like black people were inside of a box. If you were black, you were this, and you were that, and you were this also, and you couldn't be shit else.
Well, see, I agree with that. Is how a lot of black people treated it, but I think that we also had those outside blacks like Prince. Prince was nothing to do with what was traditional mainstream masculine male black culture, but that nigga was masculine and was male black culture as fuck. And so I feel like we've always kind of been into other shit, just not as a spectrum now. And as a spectrum. Oh wait. Hold on. Yeah. Cut your mic on.
Me pulling it,
Oh, okay. I was like,
slid the mic down, and it turned the mic off when it slid
He ain't
down.
doing this shit again.
yeah, no, I was like, wait, no, I don't hear shit. No, but no. I just feel like I agree with that. I just wasn't trying to say that we were boxed in. I perfectly agree.
Oh
with your
yeah, no.
point.
I'm not disagreeing. I'm just saying you made me think about that.
Okay, 'cause I
saying
was
what you
like-
said. 'Cause I'm like,
I don't want you to
'cause
think
that's
that
how-
I was saying that we were boxed in back then.
No,
but I do
no,
agree
no,
that
no.
we are
Mhm.
boxed in where
it's
I feel like
and
we
it's
do
not
that
even
to
us
ourselves.
boxing. Yeah, it's just our mindset. It's the way we act towards each other.
But I
that
think that's
boxes are in.
kind of you all right over there?
All right.
You in the little.
I have to go pee, but I don't want to stop the show.
You can just take her and just put the mic over here,
Alrighty.
and me and Jones will continue. But yeah, I feel like there is a insulation of like what blackness is, and I feel like it's kind of been a defense mechanism in a sense to identify who is actually for y'all and who is against y'all. And if you're showing traits that are like outside of what the collective is doing, it was seen as danger, just in the sense of like slavery times.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that that's just kind of persisted to being something that's turned ugly, where it's just like, oh, you're not black enough or you don't do black things
Mm-hmm.
because you play Pokemon or
And that's what I mean.
you're
Like,
into Yu-Gi-Oh. And I think that we definitely are showing that, because I don't think that we ever didn't like these things. I don't think that
We
we
just
were
never
willing to
showed it.
express it
Mhm.
before, and I think now we are getting to. I think that is one good thing about social media, that it's allowed us to connect with the other black people and the people of color who also like these things,
Mm-hmm.
and not feel like, oh, it's only me in a sea of like what's wrong with me since no one else likes this. No, there's hella niggas
Right.
that like it. You just don't happen to be in the area where they all at.
Mm-hmm.
But now that you got this phone and you can connect, you can engage with them, and you can have your own community, and now it's so much easier to be yourself because there's so many other people that can identify or potentially understand that, which I think is also harder to be yourself because there's so many people that can potentially attack you for that. So I don't really know.
Right.
I don't know if it's easier or harder. It might. I don't know. It's in the middle.
You know, it's crazy though, cause like think back to like high school, right?
Mhm.
Like when I was in my senior year of high school, I honestly just got lazy. Not even gonna lie to you. My senior year of high school, I got lazy with it. Like realistically, I don't care. What are y'all niggas gonna do? What are y'all really gonna say to me? Oh, you play this? You want to fight about it? Nah. All right, get out my face. Leave me alone. And that's what it came down to. Like I'm like, I'm not doing this no more with y'all. I don't care how y'all feel. And half y'all motherfuckers all know me anyways. Y'all know what I do. So fuck off. You got a problem? Step to me. You ain't gonna step to me, leave me alone. And that's essentially how it ended up being. And then after that, I'm playing Yu-Gi-Oh everywhere. Across the front lawn, all through the senior lounge. Say something. Say something. You ain't. All right, bet. I'm all over this motherfucker.
No, see, I think mine is different. Like, because I started playing Yu-Gi-Oh probably in middle school,
Mm-hmm.
but that's also the same time that I started like falling in with the like gangbanging.
Mm-hmm.
So I've always kind of had like this split. Duality is what it's called.
Mm-hmm.
I've always been like a person that's balanced and lived in duality, where like I'd be doing all of like kicking it and being with my homies and
Mhm.
ganging and all of that shit, and just being young and wild the entire time I'm in class in school, just being reckless.
Mm-hmm.
But as soon as we breaking guard separate ways, I'm with the niggas that are in my neighborhood playing Yu-Gi-Oh, riding bikes, and just doing a completely different thing. And it, for me, it was just like, it was never an issue because the world's never mixed.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, I do this with y'all, and I do this with y'all. And y'all aren't the friends that do this, and y'all aren't the friends that do that. And
That was me too. Like,
so for me, it was just never a conversation. Like, I never hit it because there's people that, like, went to my school that I played Yu-Gi-Oh with, so it wasn't like people that went to school didn't know that I played. It was just like the niggas that I was doing gangbang shit with didn't play Yu-Gi-Oh, so we didn't talk about, like, I'm not about to bring...
right.
hey,
You
see
don't
the
bring
new
shit
Blue
up for no
Eyes,
reason.
and you don't even know what the fucking new Blue Eyes is. Like, I'm talking to you about, like, yeah, fuck them niggas over there.
And like,
we can fight for real. Like,
it's
that's
funny because that's how I was when I was younger and coming up. Like, the friend group I have now, or hell, even my friend group through high school, I didn't meet Mike B and all them until middle school. So before that, it was everybody I grew up with on my street and any other niggas I came across. And none of them were like into any of that shit. So everything I did was I was just out there in the streets doing what I did. And then my friend groups, when my friend group started to change, that's when I started to change. But at the same time, I never stopped kicking it with those niggas. I just, like you said, if I'm with them, we smoking, we doing whatever. I'm not talking about Yu-Gi-Oh. Why am I talking about Yu-Gi-Oh? Y'all don't even know what the fuck I'm talking about. But then, at the same time, like I said, I've always known Carl. I never didn't kick it to him. Get over the height, and that friend group change. So now I'm on one side of
See,
Hill
it's
Dana kicking
funny
it with the niggas,
because
and
we
then I
had
go
the
down to the
opposite
other
change.
side and play Yu-Gi-Oh.
it's funny because you grew up a nigga and then changed into being like nerdy, and I grew up like in Pokemon tournaments and Little League and shit like that,
Oh yeah,
and with a
nah.
whole gang.
That wouldn't have been a thing.
With full gang member
Mm-mm.
in middle school was like, and strong left. And then it like, even when I got out here, like, the niggas at Shaker were like the niggas that I played Yu-Gi-Oh and kicked it and everything like that. And then all the niggas at Brush is the niggas that I was just doing bad little young wild high school shit with. And so it's like fighting over
Like-
here, kicking it over here. And so for me, it's always been like that very distinct line of y'all are for this, y'all are for that.
Yeah, and it's
And
like,
there is no mixing.
and it's crazy to me now because like I talk about the show all the time. Like, oh, this that nigga I grew up with. And you see these niggas just in the club, just like straight fucking niggas. And like I know motherfuckers that like bosses on fucking 30th. I know niggas that like all throughout the hoods. That's not the life I was in, so I just let it be. We cool. I know y'all. If I go to where I go, I'm good, but that's just not the life I'm in. And that's how like some of my family look at me like that too. It's like, hey, you cool, but we don't call you for shit because this is not the life you was about, or we knew you to be about. So we just leave you to the side and let you be. All right, I'm cool with that. Like, it's crazy how life changes you.
No, see, I still get a call. that's the difference. I'll still get the call because, like I said, there's literally a very distinct line where y'all don't even see this. So I am fully committed to pressing every line when I'm with these niggas. If we gotta press line, that's what I'm doing. But over here, I'm fully committed to making the best fucking deck that I can make and beating y'all nigga asses in this motherfucking Yu-Gi-Oh. And I'm never gonna mention that I'm in a gang or was in a gang and doing any of that until like later. And I know y'all for real. And it's not like important. Like after high school. Yeah. Like once I was done and I was like, well, I'm not flying back and forth to California and potentially thinking about it. I was like, yeah, I should still be gang, but nah, I'm here and stable, so. But yeah, no. That was a random conversation about growing up and kids, but maybe it's not an issue anymore. And I don't know what we should do, but y'all should fix that.
Fix what?
And by y'all, I guess I mean our generation, because I guess we're the adults now. Ain't that crazy? We're the adult generation that has to like
We're the last end of we're the tail end of the millennials.
to
Man.
like start like being in charge and like running shit, and like supposed to be like stewarding like
Or
what the newer generation.
I take that
is
back.
Doing.
Yeah,
We're
like my
the,
younger friends don't hang out with me until they need advice.
Yeah.
They just be like, hey, can you come over? Bring a bottle of wine. You got it.
Yeah, because that's what you're for. You're the talk for it now.
Yeah, we're literally the tail end. There's one chunk of people. There's one group of people like chunk of years left in our generation to grow up fully, and then after that, our generation done with. The millennials is done. We out of here.
I got the ones that are like 20.
Yeah, that's like 95. It's everybody was born 95 through 99 or 98.
Something dumb like that.
Yeah. Once they hit like our age, our generation will be done. They'll be the elders.
But on to some wild shit, I guess. This nigga George Zimmerman
Oh.
is suing the family of Trayvon Martin for $100 million for defamation of character. He also potentially has a movie coming out.
Why is he doing that? I mean, what's the details of the story? Why does he feel like his character is defamed?
Because he says he didn't kill the kid.
Is there any, I know that part. Is there any more information on why George Zimmerman feels like he's justified in his case?
No, that's it. That's why he feels. That's his reason.
Oh, okay.
So 100 million, huh?
Yeah. I think it's really fucked up just for the family. Because you know that if you sue somebody, they have to go to court. Which means they have to get legal representation to fight this. who knows what type of financial situation they're in? To just be paying lawyers to fight frivolous charges of defamation of character.
100 million.
Yeah.
Nigga, what makes you think they just got 100 million? So you gonna take them for everything they got, and then what? You still not gonna get paid out what the fuck you want? You suing them like they a fucking company or something. Like, bruh, the fuck is wrong with you? Dude, I'm not talking about this. Y'all can finish this conversation. That shit just made me mad. That shit's so stupid.
Well, Ash put her mic down, so I don't know what she's doing.
That shit's so stupid. Why? For what? Like, what are you getting from this? What are you gaining from this?
Mm-mm.
Then you got the fuck away. You didn't. You're free. What the fuck more do you want, my nigga?
To make everybody else suffer.
He's making me suffer.
I mean, that's his goal.
Stab this nigga in the neck. On sight.
I agree. I just feel like I also don't think that anybody's gonna kill him.
I wasn't talking about anybody. I'm talking about me.
No, I just think in general.
Yeah. No, ain't nobody gonna kill him.
I think
They're not gonna do that.
I think that's because everybody was like, "Oh, people got killers out here, and y'all murdered them, or y'all shooting each other and shit like that." But y'all letting George Zimmerman walk by. Realistically, George Zimmerman didn't piss them off.
Right.
And if you mad enough, you would go do it. But you're not. So I just wish you would go away. Or just stop doing wild shit.
Right.
Because I don't understand.
That's what I'm saying. Like, bro, you just, like, I don't even see the purpose of this. Your character
Yeah, I don't know.
All right.
But also, Keisha Cole is really upset at George at OT Genesis because
Why is he upset, Tony? Why is she
because
upset?
he did a wonderful tribute song and remade her classic song "Love."
Mm-hmm. What was the content about?
About his love
His love for what?
for his side. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
what was
his
his side? What was it about?
His side of the road, you know.
His
what
side
it
of the
is.
road?
Yeah.
Did it happen to be blue?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Blue side. Cut. No, that shit is amazing. That shit is my favorite shit in the world.
That shit
This
crazy.
nigga OT Genesis has a Crip rendition of Love.
The shit that kills me is the nigga actually sings it,
Oh,
though.
and
Like,
that is the
He
best
really
part.
put his whole, like...
He put his whole soul. No
into
auto
it.
tune or nothing. He's like,
Nothing.
I want you niggas to hear me.
And then the dude in the video with the bandana on his head, the
Just-
flag on his head.
Just vibing.
That's really the best part to me.
I love
Because his eyes is closed.
He feeling it.
doing it.
because he feeling that.
I love that.
That is because that is soulful music.
Clearly.
You know what? I feel like Keisha Cole should feel honored and should feel like, damn,
Someone
my song is such a
inspired
classic
this.
that it is the first thing that he thought of. Like, you know what I want to express my love for my set is
Keisha
this
Cole.
song that has been classically. This beat that has been classically used in the song "Love" by Keisha Cole. That's respect and honor. That's what that is.
I also understand if she doesn't want to perpetuate gang culture. I get that part too. I'm just
Keisha
saying.
Cole is from Oakland.
I get that part.
I feel like
If
my
she
nigga was
doesn't
sitting
want
around
to.
and he was listening to Love.
He's like, yeah.
And he was like, you know
what?
That's what
That's
happened.
how I feel
That's how I feel like it
about
happened.
cripping.
He was listening to Love, and that nigga just started singing along and started changing the words, and he was like, you know what?
This it right here, y'all.
This
They
be it
about to
right
get
here.
this work.
And he put that shit out. It's like, Keisha gonna love this.
The fact that I feel like the fact that he made a video for it is my favorite part.
It took it way over the edge.
Cause he could have just did the song, but this nigga was like, nah, this is gonna be some shit, and did a whole video
And turn it into a whole theme song.
Cause that is the anthem. Listen to that song every day. That and the B.O.B. rat. Fucking coons.
Bro, I had somebody sit up
Back
on me
to
like
back.
that the other day. I just fell out laughing. I'm like, oh my god, you look like B.O.B. When that nigga went in his coon rant, that nigga just he just sat up just
You never cared about me when I was alive.
Yeah, he was so bad.
I hate you, nigga.
Now that I'm dead. He was so upset. Yeah, no, that was great. Did you ever watch the Pull Up with B.O.B.? Yeah.
hell no.
You should. It's good.
What's that? I might watch that when I go home.
I
Oh,
watched
pass
this
out.
Lil Duval and Joe Rogan.
I definitely did mean to watch that.
And then my last thing that I have on my list is I hate to do it to you, but that's a lie. Why is Lizzo's ass out at the Laker game?
Whose ass?
Lizzo.
Out at the Lakers game.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
That's what he just.
Yeah,
Like was she performing?
No.
Oh, she was just out there. That's what I meant when I said why. Like I was asking was she like doing something specific? She just had her ass out.
So she wore a shirt dress
Okay.
with her ass cut out and a thong on to the Laker game. Why did you come to a basketball game with your ass cut out? Where there are children? Why do you got your bare ass on public seating? Do you know how nasty that it is for two different reasons? Your dirty ass is on somewhere else that somebody else got to sit on. And then your clean, potentially, ass is on this dirty ass seat. And you don't care about either one of those things.
Lizzo.
That's like sitting on the bus with your bare ass cheeks.
That's nasty.
Yeah, that's how many people sit in those seats.
I'ma stand.
That's how many people sit in those seats.
I'm gonna have my ass out.
All
but
the
I'm
seats
also
could be
gonna
open. All the seats could be open. I'm
Your ass to
standing.
be out.
I'm standing.
I got standards.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
Putting my ass on
What
a
do y'all
dirty
think
seat.
about
What's wrong
that?
with you? I saw a
What do y'all
nigga slapping the seat, talking to the fucking seat.
I can look at these cheeks though,
Look at-
but they
no,
will
I'm
not
good.
touch those fucking.
Will not.
oh, and then
Shit.
she also got up from her
Bitch is
seat
flowing the wind.
and started to
Watch
twerk,
these cheeks clap.
And-
Walk away.
do a whole like little dance routine on.
So she started twerking with her ass out.
Yes.
I'm gonna need
and
Lizzo to
That's
calm
just
dropping
a
it
down.
great
low.
sign of insecurity.
Here's my thing about her, right? I'm cool with you being, comfortable with yourself and being out here and just
She
doing
ain't
whatever
comfortable
you
with
want.
herself. Don't no secure person go around being like, my ass got to be out.
Look, I'm just assuming she's like comfortable with the way she is, so she ain't got no issue just being out here like, But maybe I'm wrong and she's not comfortable.
No,
And it's the other way around, and I'm just tripping. And Lizzo, just
I
stop.
said, if you got
You doing a lot, man.
if you got a big dick, you're not necessarily trying to let everybody know you got a big dick. It just is what it is. Lizzo, unfortunately, no one can say anything bad about Lizzo because of body positivity and all that bullshit. But realistically, I'm a bigger person and I don't feel like I dress pretty sexy, but I don't dress like where niggas need to see my ass and all this other stuff unless I want to show it. In her case, she didn't bought into what she was trying to sell. I'm a big bitch and I'm sassy and you can't do nothing about it. And I'm so proud of my big bitchness. Like, okay.
And that's what I mean. Like I'm.
And then
I'm-
no one
I'm
can
cool
comment
with you
anything
being like
negative
that.
on it without
But,
being
like,
backlash.
Bitch, we don't need to see your ass.
I didn't want to see Rihanna's ass. I don't want to see no one's ass, to be
and
honest.
I was
with you.
going right there next. I wouldn't give a fuck if it was you, fucking Rihanna, anybody. Like, the outfit was just inappropriate for the situation.
hella
in general.
inappropriate. Like, what was the point of you doing that? Let me know.
And that's my issue. Why did you come to the game with your ass out? That's all I
It was just so tacky.
Like,
It's not
I've
even. You're not
heard
even
about
at like a fat girl
her
rally.
being naked on Instagram or doing all kinds of other shit. And I don't be saying shit about Lizzo, except for when she was when the niggas was suing her. But that was just me reporting on the news. And
Right.
niggas was, I don't give a fuck about that. Like, that's just what's happening. But this is just, and I also don't care about you being naked on your Instagram. That's
You
your
grown. Do
Instagram.
what the fuck you want to do? But like,
Be there
come
and
on.
be free. But I am confused about why you're half naked at the Laker game. Like, if fucking LeBron was just walking with his ass out, everybody in the fucking world would have an issue.
Mm-hmm.
It's tacky.
They'd be real mad. But because she's a bigger woman, we're not supposed to say, hey, that's inappropriate for you to do here.
No, because
And
obviously,
if we do say that,
now
then
we're talking
body
about-
shaming.
You're saying that you're
No,
only
bitch,
saying
it's
it
just tacky.
because you don't like her body. That's the only real reason that you have an issue. It's not because no, my issue is that I was watching the game, and you know
Here
what
go your ass.
and you know what they did while I was watching the game? Stop showing me the court to show me fucking Lizzo shaking her ass and shit. That's not what I don't give a fuck about that. I wanted to see the game. I'm confused as to why your ass is out and it's not halftime.
See, you know the problem with me and body
Oh.
shaming. I'm a real honest person.
I hate the people that brought up fucking cheerleaders to say that, oh, y'all issue isn't sexuality.
No, it's because you tacky.
It's the cheer. If y'all cared about that, cheerleaders show more skin. If we're
That's
gonna,
what the fuck
if we're
the
gonna
cheerleaders are
use-
showing.
I mean, but yeah, if we're gonna say skin per capita, sure, they show more skin per capita, but they wear little fucking compression shorts up under their skirts now, because it's not
Yep.
the 1960s or the 70s where they were actually butt ass fucking naked
Right, I
cheerleading.
mean, like, I'm pretty sure
So
they've been wearing
they're
compression shorts since, like,
pretty much
the
cover it up, and so no one's seen
90s,
their fucking ass cheeks, so that's not
late
a good
80s.
comparison. Suck my
Right.
dick.
Like I
hate
said,
people.
That whole situation doesn't.
I
I'm
just
too
don't
honest for shit
understand.
like that. Like I literally
Put your ass
like,
away.
hey, put your shit away. And I'm like, oh, it's because you don't know, bitch. Because I don't want to see your ass. It ain't about what you look like.
I just don't want your ass out right now.
Right now.
Is that
Point
it?
blank. Period.
Like, if we were at the club, I would be happy your ass is out. Throw that shit
Fine.
over here.
That's the right scene for that.
Like, I'm not upset about that. If we at the strip club, again, ass out, great. If we at your house, ass out, great. If I'm on your Instagram, your ass is out. I'm, again, great. I'm double tapping. But can you put your ass away at the basketball game?
Yeah.
I don't think that's a lot to ask.
That's why I don't buy into the whole body positivity. I'm secure in what I am. Like I said, I'm not out here shaking my ass and titties to show like I'm comfortable in my body.
I mean, I feel like
It's weird. Like, how could you tell me that you secure with your body if every 5 seconds you got to flaunt it and stick your middle finger up? Because you're really not trying to convince the world that you're secure with your body. You still trying to convince yourself.
I agree with that.
I
Because
mean, I
feel
do.
like
I agree with that.
that's the same thing with like people who like are always posting that they're taking trips.
Yeah.
This is new to you, so you are wanting to show it because this is a brand new experience to you, and you're not secure in this yet. As soon as it becomes comfortable and it's your normal life for real, and you're secure in that,
Yeah, what would be
you
the point?
No longer go post.
It'd be
it.
like brushing your teeth. Like, why would
Yeah.
you have to post in the morning about brushing your teeth? It's just a part of what you do. And if
Right.
you fat and you love your fat body, then what would be the point of you just being like, here's my fat ass, everybody?
I love it.
There's no part
Don't
of
you
me.
know I love
Right.
it? I love my fat ass all the time.
And I this is the heaviest I've ever been in my entire life. But there's no part of me that's just like, don't y'all just love my fat ass? Or don't y'all just love my fat face? Like, there's no part of me that wants to do that. Ever. So that just lets me know that she's still not buying into what she's selling. She let everybody else create her image on what she wanted to sell or what the records company told her to sell. Now she just has to buy into I'm the fat girl rapper that's
I mean,
so
essentially.
secure of myself and I'm so confident. Yeah, okay. You can fool them, and that might sound great
There's a
to
lot of people I just want to have a conversation with, you know.
yeah, like come on, yeah,
Not
like
me.
you're not fooling nobody. Because if you was, like, why are you still crying on stage? Why
I'm
do
not
you
saying the
still got
conversations are for good reasons.
I don't.
I just
care
want to
enough.
have a conversation.
I don't care.
I want to hurt people's feelings sometimes.
that? Ooh.
see.
The truth set you free, man. The truth set you free.
About
Mhm.
cussing out the Lakers when they're doing bad. So if I could talk to them when they fucking up, then those would be the people I would want to have a conversation with. But other than that, that's the only thing that makes me care enough is because, and then it's not even really y'all. And I'm not mad at the Lakers. I'm mad at these players that are wearing the Lakers jerseys that are making the Lakers look bad. You collection of people, stop fucking it up for the Lakers. You staff and everybody else, stop fucking it up for the Lakers. All I care about is the uniforms and Kobe Bryant. And then Giannis now. But other than that, I'm not. And Giannis be good. He's great, so like he don't ever do anything bad. He said he would fight Blake Griffin. He's like, yo, we can fight if he wants to. Like, he gives me all the things that I need. He's just aggressive enough. He's a killer on the court. And I don't know. He don't lose. Like, he loses, but he don't lose enough to make me mad at him. Like LeBron. Like last year. I had to cuss that nigga out. Like, damn near every episode. Every single episode for almost a year, I had to cuss these niggas out. For an entire basketball season.
That's crazy to people that don't understand basketball.
No, they were losing.
I don't. That's really sad for you. I'm so sorry. Or mad or angry.
I was trying to tell you to shut up.
That's crazy.
Yeah. But no, I'm done. It's your turn.
What you got for us, Ash?
Is it Boomafu? Why she look at her phone like she ain't got no topics?
I do have to.
Like,
I planned this weeks in advance.
ain't got none today.
Nah, I do have something today. I was thinking about being single. And if you single and you fuck with like multiple different men or women, is that considered like polyamory or polygamy for real? Because I looked up the definition and it said you had to be married. But now that I'm thinking, like, am I really single? Or is anybody that had multiple partners really single?
Yeah.
You really single?
Yeah.
No, you not. Oh,
Why
but go
not?
ahead. Why do y'all feel that way?
I ain't got
you
no
not
rules. You
with
can't tell
nobody.
me what to do.
All right, we're not together.
Yeah.
You allowed to do whatever the
I
fuck
am
you
still
want to
an
do after
individual
we
person that
separate.
isn't bound by any like guidelines, rules.
Yeah, you are.
No, I'm not. A relationship is like joining an organization. It's like you sign up here to be a part of this company, and you know what these are, the rules and things like
Yo,
that.
I thought about that shit
of
too.
being in the company. That's what a relationship is like. It's like going to work with a company. Like you know
That's how I think
that
about my
you
relationship
can't
now.
be too late and shit like that. Like yeah, no, it's the same shit. So no,
I feel
if,
like
if
now
I'm
I'm in
single,
the structure.
I'm a contractor. Like when I'm with you, I got these rules, but then I do some contracting over there. I got these rules over there. Yeah, that's what being single is, being a
I
contractor.
kind of see like what you're saying though.
Because
'Cause,
think
like-
about it. We was talking about situationships the other day.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, what you was saying, but there are like rules and regulations you gotta deal with.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Even like, well, sometimes, like, but like you're saying, it's a situationship. I guess that's somewhat of like a relationship still. Like, what?
I hate that word.
I mean, unless that's what you were talking about. But like, from being single and not really being single,
Mm-hmm.
I guess you could look at it as like you have people that you frequent. So you're not like I see what you could say, like you're single but not really. You're like not tied to the laws of a relationship, but you know.
Yeah, but you still
Y'all
got
enjoy
your
each
boo
other.
and your bae. You still got bae number one because bae number one do this, bae number two do this.
Yeah,
What's the difference of that?
the
Just not
people
being
you frequent, because there's no rules locked in these situations, because of the simple fact that you're moving from bae number one to bae number two to bae number three, bae number four, instead of just having one bae.
Mm-hmm.
You're not really single. You're just like,
I've just been contemplating that.
or I guess you are single. You're just not like you're not locked in.
You're not monogamous
more or less
to one
the
person, so I guess that's where the lines kind of
wordplay.
get blurred
Yeah.
to me. Like, you're not fucking just one person, and then even I don't know. I don't even know why I thought of that shit.
It's just like I said. It's more or less. I guess you can go by your definition or what you feel single is.
Cause I don't feel like you really single. Like you half single or some shit. You're not really single, but you're not really monogamous. Cause you can have You think you can
You're
have
definitely not
feelings?
monogamous if you're like,
Yeah, like,
you
you're
got babe
not-
1, 2, and 3 or 4.
You not in that spectrum. You in this like weird gray area. Because I feel like if you single and you ain't got nobody on your mind, you really just doing you, and you're not trying to get. You're not really fucking with nobody for real.
Mm-hmm.
Now, once you start moving in this gray space where you start fucking with different people, and now you have feelings for different people, and they might not all be connected directly. Like one person might not know about this person, like it would be in like I guess a traditional polyamorous relationship.
Right. I mean, I would hope.
But
they
you
would all be
also got
into it.
feelings for all these different people.
Uh-huh.
So what would be the difference? But you not locked down
Yeah,
to
that's
one
the
specific
difference.
person, which is really similar to
But see,
polyamory or polygamy.
but like you said, in polygamy, they all know about each other.
That's true.
Tell all 4 of these niggas about each other and see how that works out for you. Now you got no bays. Maybe one, because that one nigga was like,
No, they all pretend like they don't care on the surface. And real deep down, you be like, fuck that nigga or fuck that bitch. Everybody does that.
but then at the same time, if everybody just being single all over the place and we just all doing this, like, well, you got that nigga, and I'm gonna have this, and I'm gonna have that, and this and that, and people just match up and they just, try to outdo each other also.
Yeah.
I got 12 wives. How many you got? Nigga, I only can afford 5, all right?
I be coming over there with that bullshit.
Right. Goddamn 12 wives out here.
That kind of leads me into hookup culture and how I think it's a detriment for us, for real. And I want to know what y'all think about hookup culture.
What do you mean? Wait, be more specific. Give me a better definition of what you mean. Because my mind went left when you said hookup culture.
Hookup culture, like, we just fucking and then we gonna be done. Or no one's really, I don't know if anybody really in relationships anymore, if it's just my little small worldview. But now everybody
Okay.
just is this, like
I
I
feel
said,
like-
everybody's stuck in this weird gray area where it's like situationships are like normalized now.
Well, I was gonna say that.
Oh.
I feel like
Continue.
no, it's just every time you move the mic, and I can hear that.
Oh.
I heard all that. But yeah, so you gonna use the stat next week. But fuck, I forgot what I was gonna say. So y'all can just continue.
All right.
Yeah, I lost it.
I was waiting on you to talk so long. I don't remember what we were talking about altogether. What specific situation we were on?
I was thinking it's situationships and this half in half out stuff is bullshit. I wanted to know how y'all think about it now, because like a lot of R&B is geared towards, "Can we just
Okay.
fuck and I just want to fuck you and be done, and we ain't got no real feelings for each other, and I want you but you not mine and I'm not yours," and it's just like. So I just wanted.
Well, that's
I wanted
weird.
to see what y'all thought
But
about that.
like, so more or less, I feel like that's a lot of how shit is nowadays, and it's not even that. More specifically, it's more or less like, oh yeah, we just get together. We either together or we not. There's no talking, and that gets us to fucking quicker, I guess. But I don't see too many of previous steps that people would take before
Mm-hmm.
into being in relationships or even having relationships happening anymore. I was like, it's either it happens or, like you said, the situationships in which, yeah, we just got this thing going on because it's more normalized to have, or at least more recently, you see, oh, I got bae and I got bae number 2, or I got nigga and I got side nigga, or I got things along those lines. And I don't think emotions always, or no. I think emotion is the reason you get situations like that.
Yeah, because everybody think they go into something and then somebody somewhere.
Because I mean, even
Catches
sometimes it's not even always a
feelings,
female. Some
almost
niggas just
always.
won't let bitches go.
Right.
It's like, oh yeah, I love her, but I want her too. And it's like, nigga, it's like, well, I want both of them. All right, well, shit, you make that shit shake, then, my nigga.
Yeah.
You got it.
I remember going into.
I don't want to hear about it though.
It at the beginning of the year. That shit sounded great. Towards the end of the year, not so great. Because I don't guess I just, for me personally, like.
It got cold.
Hmm?
I said it got cold.
I thought about that. I'm like, is it just because it got cold? Nah, it's not. It's been something that I've been thinking about. Like, damn, I'm just tired of being by myself, and I'm tired of half-assing it with somebody. You know what I mean? Like, I got so much love to give to one person that now it just seems like if I'm involved with somebody casually, then now I'm going to have to put up boundaries so I don't catch feelings for this person. But I also recognize, like, oh, I'm looking for something a little bit more deeper. Like, this is cool for now.
Mm-hmm.
But what happened, I guess the thing is like, I'm not listening to, I don't want to dive into that part where it's like everything is fucking casual anymore. I'm tired of casual. I feel like we lying to ourselves when we just say like, oh, this casual shit is okay. Like, yeah, it's okay, but so is eating Flamin' Hots every day until it's not okay. Do you understand what I mean? Like, this half-ass situationship is like junk food for us, and we just keep settling for it. And now it's kind of normalized where it's like,
I mean, half-ass works because you don't have to put your whole into it, and you not having to put your whole into it.
And I'm kind of tired of that, and I feel like
you're gonna be hurt or anything along those lines.
Yeah, and I'm just tired of it. Like, damn, like, you niggas don't love each other no more. Don't nobody need each other.
No,
we just be texting all the time. It's just like
a sign of weakness to show it.
It's just this culture. It's just really like, it's just not who I am. And obviously, like, I can choose to opt out anytime. But just sitting there thinking about it, like, this shit ain't gonna go nowhere for real. It's just, I ain't gonna say it's messy, but at the same time, like, I don't know. Like I said, I just feel like it's junk food at this point. You know what I mean?
I don't know. I think it's just more talked about.
You think so?
I mean, niggas had whole ass second families back in our like
that is true.
parents' days and shit like that. Usher had a whole like confessions where this nigga got side bitches and shit like that. So I feel like niggas and women have been entertaining like situationships and things that aren't necessarily like strictly an exact relationship forever. It's just less of a secret now. I feel like a lot of the things that we used to do, we used to keep private and to ourselves, and now we want to, as a society, where our shame is badges of honor. There's the whole slut walk movement where you no longer want that to be a title of shame, but that's a badge of honor. Side chicks want that to be like a badge of honor, like I'm his piece when he's not with you, and just like everybody wants like to wear their shame as a badge of honor now. And so I don't think that there's any discretion, and so without that, I don't feel like there's any like even semblance of like pretending that we're like in a loving situation now, because everybody is like out in the open with like any shame they have as a badge of honor. Like everybody's like, no, I'm doing what I want to do, and that's just me. You have to accept it now.
Well,
right.
Essentially.
And some shit is just trash, and it's not just I should have to accept it. It's just, no, you're a trash person. So, but now it's just like, no, that's just who I am, and you need to accept me for me. And if you can't, then there's something wrong with you. And I think that's kind of like
you see how it was, right?
Everything.
There's something wrong with you. Not get the fuck away from me. That's the difference nowadays. Not saying you in general,
yeah, I know.
But that's the difference. It's like, if you can't accept me for who I am, there's something wrong with you. And because when I was listening, I expected them to say, well, they'd be like, oh yeah, you can't accept me, you ain't got to deal with me then. No. There's something wrong with you.
Yeah, no, you
meaning
have to deal with me still.
You still gonna deal with me.
Yeah, no, I need you to accept me. You have to, like, it's like forced acceptance now.
No, I don't want to.
You have to accept the slut walk, and if you don't, then you're not a progressive individual, and you want to repress women and hold them back. And well, maybe it's just I don't think that I should know who you're fucking. How about that? How about I don't think I should know who anybody's fucking?
Right? Why do you have
and
to? Why do you have to tell me?
I look at you as a hoe, and if I look at you as a hoe, and you feel some type of way about that, that's an internal feeling. That has nothing to do with me. If I say something about you and then you feel a way about that, that's because you had an internal trigger or an open wound, and I touched on that, and now you're upset. But that's your wound that you need to deal with. They ain't got shit to do with me. All I can do is make observations for myself and how I see the world. But now I'm not allowed to do that as my own person. I have to see the world how you see the world, or at least say that I see the world the way you see the world, to get through life and not be judged and be like, oh, you're not progressive, or you're not like open-minded or considering of others and shit like that. And sometimes I just want to say the shit is trash.
That's a good question. Now that I think about it, everybody keeps saying like men don't have any opinions towards like women's rights or whatever. Do y'all think y'all should not have to deal or speak on like women's right or women's reproductive things?
No, because
but in that case where he was talking about the slut walk, well, if you're saying some shit like, hey, I don't want to know who you're fucking, maybe you should keep that a private issue. You still feel like, or if you get a bitch pregnant and you want to keep the baby and she be like nah.
I wouldn't share that to people either. Like
that's not no.
I feel like we should shut the fuck up, because as soon as, let's say I'm attempting to be an ally, but I also have some slight disagreements, and so I bring that up, I'm going to be attacked and then viewed as someone that's trying to be controlling or change the movement and things like that, because you should be silent and just be supportive. Okay, so you can't have it both ways.
No.
You can't want me to shut the fuck up and be supportive, but then also want me to have a fucking opinion. But when I have an opinion and it don't coincide with your opinion, then it's an issue. So I'm gonna just shut the fuck up and sit over here, because that's how I get pussy at the end of the day. Just like if you're in that situation, you just, for like men in general, just shutting the fuck up and not being cast as the nigga that hates women or is controlling, or just that stereotypical thing that just women are casting as men right now. It's generally best to shut the fuck up and not say anything, because women will say, well, why don't men say anything? But you know what they won't do? They won't point to you and be like, well, why aren't you saying anything?
Nope.
Mm-hmm.
And you're fine. Yeah, so if y'all want us to say stuff, y'all can't like be mad if we don't also agree with like every opinion of the movement.
That's exactly how you said. They want us to say what they want us to say.
They don't.
So you can't be like,
ask
don't ask me for my opinion, and then get mad. Because you just assumed I was going to say what you wanted me to say. I'm sorry. You asked for my opinion, I gave it to you.
So now with all this talk, do you think that like pussy is too easy to get?
I don't think it was hard to get.
No, I'm right there with him. I don't think it was hard to get.
Like, when do you feel like it was hard to get?
I don't know. That's why I felt like, damn, should I ask y'all this question? Because y'all know it wasn't in the age where niggas had to court and shit. And I feel like our age, well, y'all group of men don't really be courting and don't really have to work for pussy as much. It kind of be thrown at y'all.
From the niggas that I know, they was doing just as much game playing and player macking and all of that shit. And when you got a couple of different girlfriends and you don't really want to have to talk to all of them at the same time, what you do is you start to just only answer their calls at specific times, so that way that they start to get the message that, oh, he's probably working or busy at this time, so I only call him at that time. No, I only answer these times, so I know that this is be the only times that you call, so I don't have no issues when I'm with my other women. You know who taught me that? An old nigga. So I feel like if old niggas was giving me the game like that, they was getting pussy and finessing just like the young niggas are now. We just talk about it more. Like I said, I think everybody wears their shame as a badge of honor, niggas included. I think that back then niggas weren't proud to be fucking around and having a side bitch and shit like that, and it wasn't looked at as like, oh, you a stand-up dude. It was just being a stand-up dude was being at home taking care of your family, working a job, things like that. That was considered being a stand-up nigga, a real man, whatever you want to call it. But today, that's not the same. We wear our shame as badges of honor. Men, women, in general, everybody. And so we are proud to say, yeah, I got side bitches, I fuck bitches. Like, so I don't think, and I think women are proud to throw the pussy or are proud to announce that they're throwing the pussy. Because I just think that everybody is proud of their shame. I don't know why.
So we made it so because our environment has turned into an environment in which any type of downplay or anything. So you can't talk down on people. Essentially, is what this is becoming. That means your shame can be your badge. Because what can people say to you? It's just like we were talking about Lizzo. You do what the hell you want to do, and people talk down on you. Now we're in a bad position. If anybody has an opinion about it, now you're looked at crazy. So the environment that we're in right now just supports it.
Yeah.
Essentially. And like a lot of it, like it was built off of something good, because I feel like a lot of this started with just like the whole anti-bullying thing, and it just turned into everything. They just start looking at everything as bullying, and everything is downplaying, everything is hurting people's feelings, everything driving your emotion, and everything making people do this or everything making people do that, and just shit making you feel terrible about yourself.
Do you think anti-bullying came before accepting gay culture?
Yes,
I'd say no.
I believe.
Because I feel like...
Wait. No, you're right. Because gay culture was around when I was still in high school. Yeah.
And I feel like...
Anti-bullying didn't come until maybe early 2010s.
And I want to say that's kind of when I want to get started. Not to say that there's anything wrong with, like, homosexuality or anything like that, but I just feel like it was us taking such a hard turn on we need to be open and accepting to this because the alternative was them dying.
Yeah.
So I get, like, the full push into, hey, we got to stop this because they're dying at an alarming rate, and we probably don't want that to happen anymore. Mm-hmm. But I think that overcorrection and we need to be fully accepting of this turned into we need to be fully accepting of everything that everybody is. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if that's the best for us. Like, I don't know.
No, that's.
I also don't know if it's like our business. Like, but then I was like, well, why does everybody have to put everything out to be accepted?
Yeah, sexuality really shouldn't be taught to like
because
12-year-olds.
People
whether
put
you having
out
straight sex or gay
because
sex,
they don't want to feel bad about it. And if you're doing something you feel bad about and you put it out there and other people are doing it, you don't feel so bad about doing the things that you feel bad about because there's no shame on it if.
But I guess
everyone else is doing it also.
If you don't put a stigma on anything and you don't put, if you don't talk about sex at all, then regardless of what people are doing, they're not going to feel no way about it because you don't address it. It only becomes something negative if society has already put like a negative connotation and they're the one person that wants to do it and society says it's fucked up.
I mean, that's essentially what I meant though by what I was saying.
Oh no, I'm agreeing with you. I agree with you. I think that I'm just speaking to like the general populace that we need to like excuse me, like that seems like
I mean, if anything,
said it to be like
it's going to get too open. It's going to be too open-ended and we're going to backlash right back to where the fuck we was in the beginning.
Yeah, I just don't want nobody telling my kid about sexual reproduction at all. Or whatever the fuck they call sex education. Period. I agree that we need to stop tabooing the alphabet community's practices. I can agree with that. So where it's not this whole religious thing where we think they're doing something bad. It's not bad, it's just different than what you do. But realistically, I don't want my 8-year-old or my 9-year-old or my 10-year-old learning about the mechanics of sex when y'all don't even understand the mechanics of sex. Y'all might know the physicality of it, but anybody can teach that. They don't talk about all the other consequences like we was talking about here of just fucking casually and like the energy that goes into having sex and stuff like that. They don't never tell the whole totality of what goes into sex, and even then telling a 10-year-old about
the energy
fucking
transference is
like
wild.
we don't get that part.
But I definitely get what you're saying because
telling a 10-year-old about what
me,
your penis looks like on the inside is how does it help us grow?
Like they treat
Sex ed is
sex
like
ed
biology.
like biology for humans.
Yeah, essentially.
It's realistically what
And
it
I
is.
don't agree that should be in there because I don't
just-
remember none of sex ed. Like, yeah, that shit really was powerful in my life. Like, I know what a dick looked like split in half.
You know, it
Where
was
has that ever
biology-
come in life
it was
where I looked at a
realistically
dick and was
biology
like,
for humans.
I know what this shit look like
it
on
was
the
essentially
inside.
just biology of
That's
your body.
wild. That it's just biology of your body, and then shows
Nothing
you how to put
else.
condoms on.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the biology of the body, parts of the body they don't talk about in any other.
Your
biology.
parent could have taught you that at home.
But see, the issue with the reason why they had sex education is because parents weren't doing that, and they
And
were just
that's
letting.
really
their
their choice. When
tossing.
government came in and was like, no, we're going to teach this to your
Yeah,
kid.
because the government
that
also
is
felt
hell
like
of it uncomfortable.
kids were just out here just jumping into situations and don't know anything about anything, and they were just out here fucking. And then you had like the AIDS scare and all that other shit, and all these STDs pop up. That's why sex ed was there. I don't agree with it
get
because,
both
like I
sides
said,
of
it's
it.
useless. But
I just think that if we're gonna teach sex ed, I think that it should be like anatomy class in the introduction, and then maybe when they get to high school, start really teaching like sex ed as in like interpersonal relationships and emotional intelligence class.
Mhm.
I think
Because
they
that's
should teach it
realistically
after
what
you
need.
hit puberty. When they start teaching that shit before, like you said, when you about 17, maybe they can start introduction
I mean,
to anatomy.
like,
Well,
and
I
all
think
that
that you
I had
should
sex
have the
ed 2
anatomy
different
and everything like
times.
that, because that's just going to be like, if they just do it strictly as anatomy, that's not going to sexualize it. And if you just keep it strictly science, these
It
are your
could be the
body
whole
parts,
thing
and this
later
is what you
on.
belong. I think that if it's later on, it'd be too late because they already gonna know what they.
Yeah,
dick
you already
is.
know what to. When you looked at a pussy, did you be like, damn? You know, I needed a book for this shit.
But-
no,
well,
you
the
looked
point
at it
I'm
and was
gonna
like, my dick goes here.
Yeah, but I think if
No one needs anything for that.
I guess if you teach me the scientific repercussions of sexuality at an earlier age, I don't see that as a negative thing.
Was
'Cause
it?
I don't think that is encouraging sex, but I don't think that should be the only education we get.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's incomplete. I think that we do need to learn that the way that you engage with people is in totality related to this. The way that you relate and your emotional intelligence and your emotional understanding of things. I feel like those things should be addressed, and not just
Honestly,
the anatomy of
Now that I'm thinking
a
about
body.
if you were gonna do it in school, I don't think that should be addressed in school. I think that's where your parents should come in.
Oh, that's
Because realistically, when you're going from school and talking about it, it's like it's more of a they have to generalize it. It can't be more of a like.
I mean,
It has to be like an overall plan.
Your parent could be shit,
I mean,
and
at the same time, that could fall in right what she was saying. Also, it's like that's what I was saying. Like that's why they started doing it in school, because you would have a situation where the
like,
parents were shit,
I know parents that,
and then
with
your
their-
kid out here just fucking and
And-
making babies and didn't know what the fuck they were doing.
with their understanding of interaction is on a 7th grade level, and they don't know how to interact with people beyond that level of interaction. So I couldn't fucking soundly or any way with good judgment of my own logical mind expect that person to be able to instill how to deal with the world and other people in a logical fashion that an adult would do if they can't do it themselves.
At the same time, I don't
So I
want
understand-
some random person teaching my child.
You right? I
That-
get what
see,
y'all are
that-
saying.
that's the
Double-edged
flip.
sword
Then
it
don't
out.
put your kid in school.
What? No, I don't want them. No, I want some random person teaching my child about that.
They can teach them about the other
They
shit.
can teach them about math, science, and history. That's
But then-
fine.
So yeah, that's what I'm saying. When
but I don't-
when
but-
did sex ed become the government's issue? When they felt like they had it, regardless of how you feel about
Because realistically,
what
if you're
level
doing that,
age
you
you
can put
are.
your
When
own
did the
personal opinion
government
in
say
how you
like
feel
we
about
need to
the
teach this
situation.
because
But
you
people
niggas ain't
put their
doing
own
it?
personal opinion into every subject in fucking school that they teach. I don't think that I've had any teacher that has imparted just strictly the facts to me.
Yeah, strictly math. It's nothing but numbers. You can't put a personal opinion in math. You can't put a personal
Okay,
opinion.
so we're gonna
half
talk
a
about the
fucking
one
science.
subject that you literally can't do it. So
Nigga.
any subject that you can fucking use one, is philosophy,
Okay.
sociology,
Okay.
fucking history.
Okay.
All of the things that
Uh-huh.
you're gonna really impart knowledge
Right.
and you're gonna really like
Uh-huh.
engage with me as a person. You're allowed to put your own fucking feelings,
Yes,
emotions,
you are.
and but the one thing, so Matt, you're right. That's the
Yeah.
only thing that is a very logic driven, and you can't give me anything like that.
Right.
So they could teach me that black people enjoyed slavery and things like that because they're allowed to explore history with me, and that is happening in the schools in the South.
Okay.
And there's reports of that. But you're fine with that person teaching.
No.
No, but you're fine with history being taught because that's just a general subject. But because
But I'm
it's
also
sex
monitoring what the
education,
fuck you're learning.
So how are you monitoring if they're teaching them history?
Okay, if you're coming home and I'm looking over the shit with you, it's not like if I have a child
But if you're
and I'm
but
looking
if
over
you're
the
gonna
shit
be
with
that
you and you're
parent,
teaching
then you
this,
would
this is
look
not
over
what
the
this
sex
is.
ed.
Then we're moving you the fuck up out
But
that
then
situation.
you would look at the sex ed shit too, and you would be the parent that's right there when they're getting the information from the school. That's right there to reinforce whatever is the positive information and whatever is the negative information.
I still don't want. I don't want that aspect taught. You can do the biology. Don't touch the feelings. Leave that alone. Leave the emotional part alone. You can do all the biology you want. Like when you were talking about earlier, when I through Shaker, right? When I hit 5th and 6th grade, that was my first biology. It was nothing but biology. When we hit high school and we did sex ed again, that was teaching us more about the repercussions of sex, what happens when you're having sex, the things that can happen after sex, the things that come along with the STDs and things like that, the condoms, all that whatnot. That came the second half. Perfectly fine. You got it. Cool with that. But don't bust down your personal opinions and your relationships and things of that mindset.
I'm not saying
to the child. That's what I don't
That's
want.
not what I'm telling them to do. But there's books on emotional intelligence that aren't based off of like your personal feelings. There's you can be trained, you can be a therapist or trained in this area to be able to speak to this on a educational level that isn't biased and isn't personal opinion. And that's what I'm advocating for. I'm advocating for us to create a program and have teachers that are trained for this. Since we have teachers that specialize in different subjects in high school anyway, we could have a counselor teacher that is educated and this is their curriculum. This is what you impart. You impart the general terms and the terminology of understanding, because emotional intelligence is a term that most people don't even know what the fuck it means. So even exploring, just engaging with what is emotional intelligence, like high schoolers have no concept. Like I didn't know the word emotional intelligence while I was in high school. I had no concept of me needing to be emotionally intelligent to interact with other people and to have successful relationships. And that might have made interacting in high school a little bit easier, understanding that you not understanding or reading situations might lead to these hurt feelings and negative outcomes and you feeling like you want to kill yourself. So just being able to understand the emotions that you have in yourself, because I can't say that all parents are going to be like you, Marcus, that are going to be able to impart that wisdom and be like, hey, these are the things that I want to teach you. So if I'm going to speak for all kids, and I know like a lot of kids are in really fucked up situations, and just across the board, black, white, and different, I'm just speaking about just children in general, I'd rather there be a system that's there to help them than there not be one, because there's a certain few people that feel like I don't want my kid involved in that, when the people that don't want their kid involved in that probably have the resources to take their kids away from that, or are educated enough to give them the knowledge that they really want them to have, and know how to impart that wisdom on their children, and circumvent whatever the school system is going to try and teach them. So I don't think those people are really at risk if you put this in place, is I guess my point. Because I get where you're saying you don't want your kid, but I feel like if you didn't want your kid to deal with that, you would move your kid away from that. You wouldn't allow your kid to be involved in that, but you would still give your kid the knowledge that he needed to know or she needed to know to be emotionally intelligent, to engage with other people on a better level. But I can't say that for lots of parents that I know. And I won't say any names because that's crazy. But I know that kids don't know what emotional intelligence is. They don't know why they make half the decisions that they make. Shit,
Right.
I know a chick that's a whole ass hoe right now. And I know for a fact her mother didn't teach her not a fucking thing. Met the woman.
Mm-hmm.
Engaged with the woman. You know what the woman was doing when she was that age? The same fucking thing. So if that is something I can see a direct fucking correlation, you know what the younger daughter has now done? Popping out a baby. The same fucking thing the mom did. So if they're all falling down the same fucking path,
Right.
and I can watch that happen, and there's no one to intervene, and there's no outside system that's intervening, and I just watch them fall to trash and get thrown away, I kind of feel a way about that.
I mean, yeah, I understand that.
Yeah, so that's just, I feel like you could take your kid away. They don't have nowhere to go. And that's not fair to you, but life isn't about being fair. It's about being equitable. Equity isn't fair. Like, fair is all of us getting one box. But if you 5'4" and you can't see over the fence, that fair shit is useless as fuck.
Yeah, true.
So, I don't know. I don't know why we're talking about children. I hate kids.
I mean, me and you went completely off topic because we
Yeah.
stopped talking about sex ed and we just talking about classes in
Yeah,
general.
we started talking, advocating for children.
Yeah.
Look at that. I don't have none of these little motherfuckers. Good for me. Dude, out here doing what the fuck I want to do. Spending money the way I want to spend it. Spend it. But I don't know if Ash has any more topics since we went off the rails. Look at Ash is done. She says no mas. All right. Well. Oh, look at that. Only 2 hours and 15 minutes. Huzzah. Huzzah. No 3 hours today. Y'all not going to get us again, Satan. Nuh-uh. But yeah, this has been a Conscious Reconstruction show. I almost called you the other name. But like, subscribe, you know, hit the links and all of that. And Jones is going to come up with the name. So whatever the episode is named, it's his fault.